The SAVE Act, H.R. 22, or the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, was originally introduced by Representative Chip Roy and passed by the House in April of 2025.
The SAVE Act is a great bill. Mike and I updated our SAVE Act, which focuses on citizenship. We added the voter ID, to your point. That's now the Save America Act, and it's a great bill. And we want to move that bill over to the Senate and then force the Senate to act. I want Democrats to have to explain why they want non-citizens to vote in our elections, and they don't want common sense voter ID in federal elections.
Can you explain how requiring proof of ID is voter suppression?
That's not a statement that I ever made.
You sure about that?
Then you should have brought the SAVE Act, which is a voter suppression bill.
The bill demands ironclad documentary proof of U.S. citizenship for federal voter registration, slamming the door shut on any loophole for non-citizens to sneak onto our rolls.
The way the voting system is structured, we see quite a few flaws. You're able to register even if and cast a vote if you don't live in the country, as evident of his brother in Pakistan. I think we have some evidence of 2 or 3 other people out of the country that have voted. Is that correct?
Yeah, approximately 2 or 3 other people out of the country, as well as people residing outside of the district.
All you have to do is click a box and say that you're not lying, and then you'll get an email from the Secretary of State or something in the mail saying, thank you for registering to vote. And there you are. Once you're on the voter rolls, anytime an election comes around, guess what? You get mailed a ballot.
And we found that there were just about 5+ million of them that came to the country as illegals, were giving various forms of parole or allowed in the country, and they got through an automatic system, Social Security numbers, to get into our benefit systems. And we tracked that through and found that they were on the benefit programs. And just because we were curious, we then looked to see if they were on the voter rolls. And we found in a handful of cooperative states that there were thousands of them on the voter rolls, and that many of them had voted.
71% of sovereign countries require voter ID, while about 15% require basic personal details, and 13% require some form of non-photo ID. Only a small minority of countries have no ID-like requirement at all.
They will bring in hundreds of illegals. They will spread them out across all of these plants and factories, giving them jobs. They're all using the same Social Security number. The IRS unconnected our names from the Social Security number. Now, when you look it up, it just pings to see if there's an employer. If there is, it says it's good. It validates it. Why do they do that? Because all of these factories are giving them Social Security numbers. The government turns its back on it. As soon as you have a Social Security number and you go over to motor voter, pass the driver's test, right? You get a driver's license. The person looks, you got a social, you must be a citizen. That's how they pack the rolls.
Nearly a year after House passage, the Senate remains the choke point, with Majority Leader John Thune publicly signaling support and stating a vote is coming at some point once an updated version clears committee. Thune must bring the bill or its stronger Save America Act companion out of committee, schedule floor time, and rally the 53 GOP senators plus at least 7 Democrats or nuke the filibuster to hit 60 votes and break through Democratic resistance. It's not optional. Thune either delivers on this core integrity promise or faces the wrath of the growing awareness of the American people.
So the latest voter suppression bill is not a serious thing. Let's just be clear about that. You're asking me a legitimate question, but it's an illegitimate bill that's dead on arrival. It's going nowhere.
Things could get pretty messy here on the Hill today, as House Republicans may have to advance this package of government spending bills without any help from Democrats whatsoever. Now, the first thing that House Republicans have to do is pass a complicated procedural vote known as a rule. That has to pass in order to get an actual vote on these funding bills on the House floor. Now, that procedural vote is going to be a whole lot easier said than done. Not only will Democrats not vote for it, but Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna is threatening to hold the whole process up if the voter ID bill known as the SAVE Act isn't attached to the spending bills. Still, though, Speaker Johnson is confident it'll all get worked out.
Call now. Demand your congressman and senator pass the SAVE Act. 202-224-3121. Add the SAVE Act to the government funding bill. Please call 202-224-3121. John Bound reporting for InfoWars.
We are here. Welcome to the show. It is February 6th, 2026. I didn't fuck that one up. I'm supposed to not cuss for the first 45 seconds, they said, or 90 seconds. Blew it.
Almost.
Gonna get banned.
Almost.
Welcome to the show. We got, man, my mind is so bogged down right now from going through the Epstein files and doing all that stuff and looking into stuff and all that. I mean, it's crazy. I do have for you, if you're interested along the way during the show, I have a couple different websites that you can go to so you can dig in and find stuff. And if you want to send it to me, that would be great. Or you can, post it yourself, whatever. But we'd appreciate any kind of help because it's so much to go through.
Yeah.
It's hard to process it all. It's a lot.
Just layers and layers and layers.
Yeah, it's a lot. And it takes a lot. I don't have a team. If I had a team, it'd be great, but I don't. So it's just me over here doing this with a little bit of help, So I just want to say that about the Epstein files we'll be getting to tonight. What we need to talk about is the SAVE Act. So just like everything in this government, both sides are always at each other's throat. I don't trust either side. Let's just say that right now. But I do like the fact that they're talking about voter ID and they're talking about proof of voter. I mean that's the number one, and
clearing the voter rolls.
Yeah, clearing the voter rolls, meaning that no illegals can vote, and because we talked about it last week, right? Didn't we kind of cover that when we were talking about how that whole thing goes with all these illegals and what's it called again? It's not the vote, it's the population. What was that?
Oh, the census.
The U.S. Census. So it's like, yeah, there's so much going on with this. It's a lot. It's a lot to.
That's why the Democrats want it that way.
They do. They want it.
Because the more people that are here, the more people, more representatives they get in the House of Representatives. It's crazy.
Yeah, I haven't talked to John. I'm gonna put John on the spot right now. We need to get you a Twitter so that, like, if somebody wants to follow you, they can. So we'll be doing that. Hopefully he'll go with that. At least get you an X count so you can, so people can follow you.
Because, some of the stuff that I saw earlier on yours, that I'm a news junkie.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Crazy.
X is number one. Yeah. And there's all this stuff going on a side note. There's all this stuff going on with the EU or UN trying to sue Elon Musk and because of free speech and all this stuff, blah, blah, and it's been going on for years since he bought Twitter bought Twitter and turned it into X. But in the last few months, couple months, they've turned it up.
Yeah, and the money. We're talking god awful amounts.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, what they're doing. It's like, how's it go? The rats leaving the sinking ship, for sure. That's definitely going on. But they sure do have rubber ass skin right now. I mean, they just don't stop. We want the files out. Oh, wait, no, we changed our mind. We don't want the files out. You need to redact everything. It's like, which one is it? You want the files out or you don't want the files out?
Because all those names that they thought were going to be pointing at Trump and his cohorts. And it's turning out to be Democrat. There's Republicans there. Don't get me wrong.
There is a lot of investigative, just to clear this up for those of you that, and I could pull it right now. We could look at it. I looked at it the other day on the website. I have to look it up. It's I have it over here. It's the Fed website, DOJ.gov/Epstein.
Yeah.
And in that file, that's not it. That's not it.
The best one was the one that we looked at.
The Gmail. World. Gmail.world is like an email. It's like Epstein's email. You get every email he ever had, millions and millions of emails and stuff. And I'll put that up shortly. But that website, I know I have it because I save everything. I don't let nothing get by me. I'm sure it's in my phone too, but it's a PDF. So you just type in the name, just like that other one.
Yeah.
You type in the name, and it checks for any entries with that name. So I did that first. The first one I went to was here it is. The first one I went to was oh no, this is the dot world. Was Donald Trump. That's the first one I went into.
the name,
And there's a bunch of entries.
Yeah, but
it's
that's because of all
phone
this.
calls.
Yeah,
All these
yeah.
people calling the FBI and saying that they have information on Trump, diddling kids and all this weird shit, like taking kids' temperatures with his finger to sell them, and just all this stuff. Al- it, in the United States, it's still, it's not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the liberals just go, got him. And I'm like, it's a fucking some
Always.
crazy person like you
Yeah.
with pink hair with fucking piercings all over all over their face talking about I'd rather kill my kids than let ICE get them. I mean, it's just these people are crazy. You heard that last week.
Like I said, I saw it today. A bunch of kids walking up and down the street. I'm like, why aren't you in school learning something? Pumping propaganda.
Man. Anyway,
but I love it. You know why I love it is because their signs were vulgar. You think that's going to turn people on?
No.
They're
like,
no.
Trump's
So
a
just keep
racist.
on doing what you're doing.
Well,
just have at it, youngsters. I love it.
Last time I talked to you, or last time we were here, they arrested Kyle.
Really?
Antifa. Yeah, they arrested his fucking ass. They arrested him.
Well, he was looking worried. Yeah, I saw one of the posts. I think they had it on True Social, and he was coming unglued that they're coming for me. Just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, dude.
Oh, that's right. You're on True Social. Huh?
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
That's
True
a little
Social.
too slow for me, brother.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get on with the show. So we got a hell of a show for you. Make sure you call the number. Let me put the number up here for you so you can make a call. Listen, the only way that we're going to be able to make a difference is if we just, and we've done this. Alex Jones has done it for years, and Bannon's done it for years, and a lot of different show hosts with call-in shows and all that stuff. They've done it for years. Hand out the number and have everybody hit the switchboards. 202-224-3121. That's the Senate switchboard. And if you call there and say, hey, pass this, the SAVE Act.
Yeah. Put a fine under their ass.
Everybody knows that we're not, because this is the thing, especially right now, because the House did that under probably under lock and key the dead of the night, passed that bill while nobody was looking, because everybody's all caught up in looking at the Epstein files and who's in it, and is my pastor in there? Is my priest in there? Oh my God!
Yeah.
All that stuff. And so it kind of got by a lot of people. And so they're supposed to vote on it soon.
They should.
And
it's just what they're always talking about, like stuff in the bills, like guns, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Safe gun stuff. This is just safety for our voting.
Yeah.
I mean, why you wouldn't
Voter
want
safety.
that?
Yeah.
I mean,
And I don't
in
know
every other country.
I don't know how much pork is in that bill. I have no
I bet
idea.
there. Oh, I bet
I'm
there
sure,
is. Yeah,
you know,
absolutely,
you gotta
hidden
give-
underneath the
Yeah.
fine lines,
Oh, yeah.
everything. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, you got to clean. I mean, you have to have a driver's license, an ID for everything. Why wouldn't you do it for voting? I don't understand. That's like some common sense shit.
You would think it would be.
I don't know, man. These people.
All right. Let's get into the show. 224 3121, area code 212 or 202. Excuse me. Make sure that you call and just let them know what you think. That would be a
They
great
love
start.
calls. Keep calling multiple
Yeah,
times.
just keep calling. What do we got tonight? We got Epstein files. We got some video. We're gonna take you back in time. Some vampires and shit. We got some Pizzagate stuff. I just want to remind you of how we got here, because sometimes people, with the news, with the media, it's like before you can blink, it's on to the next thing. And so the news cycle, and that's what everybody hopes, is like the news cycle, they just forget. They forget about it. I mean, and so it moves so fast, we got to remind you of that. And then we got tough guy Bongino, and I just can't believe that he's came back like this. I mean, it's like, how do I explain it? Cringe. He's literally threatening people and talking about everybody's a bunch of losers and frauds, and he's the pod boss, or I think he called himself the, what do you say?
He's trying to make something up, man. That's what it is.
He
shit the bed.
God boss, or something. I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna play it a little bit.
He shit the bed of his situation.
He's an idiot. I mean, it's like, why don't you just come out and say, hey, man, I did the best I could. We did some great work.
I tried.
It wasn't what I was thinking it was going to be, but this is what I got done. And this is, and moving on. Instead, he's puffed his chest up like he's been at the FBI lifting weights the whole time or something, learning karate or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, we got that. And then we got Don Lemon being protected by propaganda. We got that. We're going to cover that. We'll probably cover that next. Get that out of the way, because I want to get past that stuff, because it's like, we're in a different cycle. We're in the Epstein file saga. And then we have,
we're finally getting what we wanted months ago. Finally.
You need to, if you could please subscribe to the channel, share this information. We're going to get into Iran, China, World War III, how close we are, how we are upright and loaded for war, and possibly in more than one country right now. So please share this information with everybody. Get everybody over here. We're going to wait till we have some people here, a significant amount of people, before we talk about that stuff, because, we could talk about the Epstein files and all the corrupt politicians and all the money laundering and all the, the crash of the 2008 being Epstein. We could cover all that stuff. And none of it means anything except for our conscience, about us getting to understand that, like, who they are, what they are, and then we need to start kicking our own selves in the ass walking down the street, because it's our own fault, because we voted for these pieces of shit. And that's the truth. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me. I'm looking myself in the mirror right now, even though I'm looking at you. So we voted these dumb shits in, and this is what we have. And we were the ones, maybe not every one of us, but the majority of us, me included, had my head so far in the sand I couldn't see daylight. And so a lot of this stuff falls right on my shoulders. And, and I have to explain that to my kids, as I do now, about not being what I call up and hard, or got my shit together, or paying attention, or prepared. And I was not. And it's been the last 5 years has been a fire drill, because I've had to get ready for who the fuck knows what I'm getting ready for, because you never know where it's going. You don't know what it's going to be. You don't know if small aliens are going to come down your street, or if the FBI is going to come down your street, or Antifa. You don't know, because it's so volatile everywhere all the time. Right now, you got teenage kids being signed out of school to go protest on the street corner right here, right down the street. And we're in a safe part of California. Like, this is a safer red area with, but I guess it's sprinkled with dipshits apparently.
Well,
So,
the dipshits are the teachers.
yeah. Well, yeah, that too.
I mean,
all the good teachers left because they couldn't handle it, like my wife.
Well, and that's it said. COVID pushed them out.
Yeah.
Then they filled them in with all the new ones.
Let's not forget what else we have. Hopefully you're letting everybody know that we're here, because I'm going to let you know exactly who was orchestrator of the COVID pandemic. We're going to cover that too. I mean, we're going to talk about that too, because we have the deets. We got the deets on that. I mean, we've done some work, a little bit of work. I mean, not as much as a lot of other people, because, these people have crews of 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 people's computers all on every wall, and they're just like, bah!
Deciphering.
And I don't have that. I wish I did. I just don't have that. So, one day we'll have the manpower to do more, but we do the best we can with raising kids and having a regular job, and this being my hobby.
Yeah.
So
Grassroots, baby.
Yeah. So one day we'll be doing this full time, and we will fucking get up in the morning and get into it, and we won't stop until we got the answers we need. And that's how I am. So thank you for being here, John. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Anything you want to say right now before we get started?
I'm just ready to get going, man. This is there's a lot of stuff.
2 minutes in, and I'm like, okay, let's cover this propaganda, because it wouldn't be the same if we didn't see a black homosexual on the screen. You see that? Did you see that one? Oh my God, I should have pulled it. They did this joke skit thing with the Obamas in monkey suits. I gotta pull it now. I'll pull it.
Where was this?
On
What
Twitter.
did I miss?
On Twitter.
What am I missing?
Oh my God, it's fucking. I was just laughing, and Donald Trump posted it on True Social.
Oh,
and then
I wasn't paying attention.
And then he took it down because everybody was complaining about him calling the black people monkeys or some shit. God. It's like, it's a fucking joke. Shut the fuck up. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, that's the only thing I don't like about Truth, man. The clutching of the pearls. It's like, don't be so serious. Social media.
Can you tell I'm a little wound up tonight? Because I swear, listen, a couple days I wasn't feeling well. I mean, and I had some stuff going on with my younger kids. So once I got that straightened out, I was like, okay, you gotta get your shit together here. It's like Wednesday. So I came out to the studio on Wednesday, and I was out here for till midnight. And I got up at 3 and went to work. And then I was like, at work, and I'm like, got off work at 1 o'clock, and I came back in here, and then I went in for dinner to give my son a bath, do all that stuff. Then I came back out here until 11 or 10. I guess that was Tuesday and Wednesday. And then yesterday I had my meeting, so I got home at midnight or 10:30, and then I got here at noon today, and I've been in here since noon. And so my brain is just like mush. So anyway, let's see if I can. Oh, I just found it. And I
it's all the computer screens. Deciphering all those.
Oh, Trump shares AI video depicting Obamas as apes in Lion King meme.
Oh my God.
And they just fucking, it's all over. Everybody's just having a fucking meltdown. All the black people. I'm like, it's a fucking joke. Your president's racist.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see.
This is how Hitler started.
It's not. Let me pull it up on here. How Hitler started. That's fucking great. We're gonna get started right now in a minute. I promise.
Got to start on a light note, man. Got to see some.
We do, because this shit is sick, man. This shit is sick. Okay.
Some of the stuff that we were looking at, and it's a lot, dude. Nothing's new. That's the sad thing. Is this has been known, but it's just now coming to the fruition, you know.
I should pull it up right there. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Let me get this on the right screen here. Hold on a second. I gotta do a shout out real quick so I can get people
Yeah.
in here. I don't have enough people in here yet. Usually when we start after 9 o'clock, it's better. But I usually used to always start at 8. But lately there's so much information.
Yeah, you gotta get busy, dude. Absolutely.
All right, here you go. Oh, they got. Check. Okay, still got sound.
That's a killer part of that movie too.
Hold on a second. I'm doing this on the fly. I didn't download it because I've been busy in the Epstein files all damn day. So let me get this moved in here. Hold on, stand by.
I mean, people are doing it, man. They're gonna hunt them down. They're gonna hunt them down for making that meme.
I mean, it's a fucking meme, dude.
I
mean,
know.
come on, dude.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, in the comments, man, tell me what you think of that meme, huh? That's a good one, man. I mean, it's fun, and that's the thing. Can we just have a little bit of fun once in a while? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You know, I mean, come on, people.
It's too serious. Life is.
Look, like, watch this. I had to download it. That's why I redid it. That's why I did it a second time so I can download it. So I got it. I used OBS and just recorded it real quick, so I have it in there now. Anyway, all right, enough fucking around here. Let's get some shit done, okay? Let's get to it. 30 minutes in, we ain't got nothing done except for made some jokes.
Oh my goodness!
Don't have too much fun, damn it. I love it. Okay, we got the right monitor on now. That's good. Let's go. All right. So we're gonna talk about Don Lemon. We just seen his act. That was his opening act right there, the monkeys of Lion King. So all right, let's go. Let's do this. Let me make sure I'm on the right side.
Just wait.
Hold on. I'm on the wrong screen because I moved my screen. So hold on a second. Sorry, people. All right, here we go. Let's do it. We're going to get serious now, okay? That's what we're going to do.
Can't have fun on Friday. No fun Fridays.
Fun Friday. That's the daytime show with Seraphin, okay? Friend Friday or whatever.
Just wait.
So I know that there are people who think like, oh, do this and, that I'm going to be locked up or whatever. I ain't worried about that. You heard the truth and the truth shall make you free. I ain't even worried about that. Like not.
Did some reconnaissance on the ground, speaking to an organization there that's gearing up for resistance and protest. I've been pleasantly surprised to see the community coming together. We're like, wait a minute, which operation are we at? And as it turns out, because we're like, well, this is kind of MAGA coded, right? Saw the American flag or whatever, but these are resistance protesters. They're planning an operation that we're going to follow them on. I can't tell you exactly what they're doing, but it's called Operation Pull Up.
The FACE Act is constitutional and properly applied. In this case, it certainly is, because Lemon and the Black Lives Matter crew said they were there to make them uncomfortable and shut them down and basically bully them into their political form of thinking. When you do that, you are engaged in a conspiracy against someone's rights.
The president just arrested 2 journalists. Now I think that he's almost in double down mode. I thought he was in de-escalate mode. Now he's having journalists arrested.
Well, he arrested journalists for committing crimes and then filming themselves committing crimes and then talking and admitting on camera to committing those crimes. So, just because you say you're a journalist doesn't mean he violated the FACE Act in 18 U.S. Code Section 241, among others.
The Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act, FACE Act, makes it unlawful to use force, threats of force, or physical obstruction to intentionally injure, intimidate, or interfere with anyone exercising their religious beliefs at a house of worship. This law protects all faith communities equally: churches, synagogues, mosques, temples, and others.
How did they use force or intimidation? Fundamental part of the mens rea of that statute. How?
Quote, "Your parents are Nazis," end quote, was yelled directly in the faces of children while accusing parents of being Nazis who would burn in hell. Quote, "This ain't God's house. This is the house of the devil," end quote, was shouted by protester William Kelly. Accusations that the church was, quote, "harboring killers," end quote, directed at the congregation. In the chaos, some protesters reportedly shouted, quote, "shoot," end quote, amid fears of guns, contributing to panic that felt like a, quote, "mass shooting," end quote, to one victim, as stairs were blocked to prevent parents from reaching Sunday school children.
Don Lemon said on camera that the purpose of the event that he was actively participating in was to traumatize people. And he said that is good. That is what that is for.
Watch this guy here. Look, he's hugging his kid. And, I've imagined it's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here, but that's what protesting is about. And so you heard what some of the folks said in there that this is, they shouldn't be there, and, they shouldn't be uncomfortable, and this is our house and whatever. That's what protesting is about, is to make people uncomfortable. You may not like it.
He said that he knew a secret. He knew about what they were doing in advance. He wouldn't say it on camera. He served coffee to his fellow activists in there. He violated the FACE Act. He conspired against rights. And it's a very important point. You cannot claim First Amendment protections while you actively violate the First Amendment rights of others.
The FBI and Bloomfield police arrested Nicholas Melandratos yesterday. The U.S. Attorney's Office says he is the man seen on this surveillance video hurling the device at the main entrance of Temple near Tamid early Sunday morning. Luckily, it did not cause any major damage, but if convicted, he's facing a maximum of 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.
Federal prosecutors say he shared a manifesto containing threats to attack a synagogue and Jewish people. Titled "When Swords Collide," part of it reads, "I am the attacker and I would like to introduce myself. I am Muslim with so many regrets, but I can assure you this attack is not one of them."
Violence and intimidation directed at synagogues and other houses of worship are not only attacks on individuals, they are attacks on an entire faith community. And they intimidate and deter people from exercising their protected First Amendment rights. Houses of worship in America must remain sanctuaries of peace, not places of fear. The Civil Rights Division has a duty to protect every community's right to gather and worship without harassment, threats, or violence.
He also, a few days ago, did an interview, and we'll show that clip in a moment, where he said, "Oh, these are white supremacists." In fact, Christian churches in general are white supremacists because only they have rights, only whites have rights.
They're entitled, and that entitlement comes from a supremacy, a white supremacy. And they think that this country was built for them, that it is a Christian country, when actually we left England because we wanted religious freedom. It's religious freedom, but only if you're a Christian and only if you're a white male, pretty much.
It's total division, total bigotry against Christians. That was a mixed church on top of it, but he's very, very proud of himself. But regardless, this attempt to intimidate Christians and come into their houses of worship, where it's their First Amendment protected space, is illegal when you do it for political purposes to terrorize people.
Whatever the future may hold, InfoWars will always live forever. The fight will continue.
I don't know what that new download thing is, but we'll fix it when we're offline here. Anyway, so the racism in that is enough to, I mean, when you think about how he's done this for years and years and years on CNN. That's one of the reasons why they got rid of him, because of that, along with his ratings were probably in the garbage,
He's an antagonist.
And yeah, exactly. And what I don't understand is where he gets off by saying that because you're a this or that you have privilege over somebody else, because that whole white privilege thing is not real. Like, you listen to these people that come out and speak against this racism. White racism is what it is. They're speaking about white people and they're being racist about the way they talk, right?
Mhm.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
That's what that is. That's white racism.
It's reverse racism right there.
It's reverse racism. And they're
Oh,
like,
a black man can't be racist.
hey,
Come on, everybody can be racist.
right. And
You know
there's,
what I mean?
there's
And
no,
what you're doing right now is absolutely
right.
racist.
And there's no way that a black man, woman, or kid has any more privilege
Yeah.
than me or you based on skin color.
Oh,
Or,
absolutely.
I mean, if you show up and your pants are down around your ankles and and you look like you're wearing thug clothes, you
Yeah.
probably aren't going to get a job
No.
somewhere. But if your credentials show that you have this much college, or you have this much experience, and you've been doing this for that long, nobody in their right mind would say, "Oh, I'm not hiring you because you're black." There's laws against it, actually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
that whole thing that he's pushing out is ridiculous. And
It's been going on though, dude. I remember it really started popping off in 2008 under Barack.
oh yeah,
the races, you know what I mean? The race relationships in this country are just kept on going by stupid asses like that. You know what I mean? I just whatever. I try not to give them any reaction because that's what he wants. You know, he's just a simpleton, and he's trying to stay relevant. I mean, he was at one point primetime person on CNN, which at one point that was a big thing, and now he's he's what he's doing. He's hanging out with people storming a church. How the great have fallen. I mean, that's some low down stuff, man. I mean, and that's what they said. I really like that lawyer. I forget her,
Harmy Dillon.
Harmy Dillon. She is awesome. You know what I mean? And what she had said that a synagogue, a mosque, a church, they're just off limits, and it should be, man. That's where people are going to find their God and get a connection with their God. Once you start going into that, that's some low down
You
stuff.
go
man.
do that at a mosque, see what happens.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't.
I mean,
You
but
wouldn't.
if you did,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Or-
I mean, especially one of these Muslim mosques, you probably get killed.
Probably.
You probably would not
the
make
whole
it out
thing.
alive.
Yeah. Well, they do not believe in turning the right other cheek.
Right.
They're an eye for an
sure.
eye. They're old school stuff.
So he went to jail.
Good.
All of them did. A bunch of people got. Remember, we covered it last
Yeah.
week a little bit.
Yeah.
But that Kyle went to jail. The loudmouth, what the hell's his name?
The farmer?
The farmer,
Yeah.
farmer. He went to jail. Those two black ladies that were one of them was the Antifa
BLM.
lawyer, BLM lawyer, whatever, went to jail, and a bunch of others went to jail. And of course, they let them out because they let everybody out now.
Yeah.
Maybe not if I went. If I went to jail,
But that's
maybe-
also in Minnesota right now. So
Right.
they're trying to keep their eyes off of what the prize is, and the prize is all of the fraud committed by the Somali. And I hate to say it.
No, it's true.
It's the truth.
Yeah, we covered it.
The Somali
We
fraud
covered
is rampant, and it points to one office, and that's the office of Governor Walz.
Governor Walz, exactly. And
So,
and
keep the eye
and Mayor
on the-
Fry.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure there's tons of other people involved in that.
Oh, I know there
I'm
is,
sure,
but
you know what I mean?
those names, that's some scary stuff, man. From the very top to the bottom.
Can you imagine if somebody like Trump, or let's say one of the Trump kids was a mayor or a governor of
They'd already been locked up.
Yeah,
They'd be
you know what I
locked
mean?
up underneath
Yes,
the prison.
But because they're they have this ideology, or I guess it's ideology of Democrat, socialist, or whatever this new thing is. I guess it's not liberalism. It's
Democrat
leftism,
socialist.
Leftism.
Socialist Democrat.
Leftism,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Leftism.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they get away with it. Anyway, so it's crazy. It's wild. So they all went to jail, and which is good because it shows that you're not going to
Accountability,
get away
man.
with it. But the problem with that whole thing is this is the problem. They have this picture painted. The picture that they've painted is that Trump is a Gestapo or something, right? Of course he's not. We know this. We all know this. Anybody with any common sense knows this, but that's exactly the reason why he didn't send National Guard in there, because of the picture that it paints, because his optics. He's always worried about what he looks like.
Wants
And
to be
I'm like,
loved.
dude, you're stupid, because this is the thing. You're not going to have another term.
No.
You're just in for this one. So
Yeah.
why don't you do the things that you said you would do and just do it? Because you know what? What are they going to do? If you do the thing
In a couple of months, if that house flips, he's going to be impeached.
and that's my point.
Immediately, they're going to start the
If
process.
he was to continue to do the things that he got voted into office for, period, he wouldn't have to worry about that. And the Republicans or the conservatives or whatever party this is, MAGA or whatever, America First, whatever you want to call the party, wouldn't have to worry about that ever again if they did what they said they would do. The whole reason why nobody wants to vote for anybody on the any red party is because they don't do nothing when they are in office, and that's the whole thing. I mean, I've talked to tons of people, heard tons of video.
Spineless.
They just don't
They're spineless.
do what they say they're going to do,
and that's
a
how
problem.
it was the beginning of his first term with all those rhinos in the House of Representatives. You know, they didn't do anything, and they mucked him down. And I see it happening again. We said it last week. What he needs to do is keep on attacking, keep them on their step back, because what he's done now is he's allowed them to get their footing again and get out of a defensive and into an offensive. You got to keep these people against the ropes because they don't know how to react when everything is coming at them. And that's what he's giving them a breath. You can't give them a breath. And that's
what I'm talking to Will right there. Yeah, for sure. Hammer down.
Yep.
Like the shit that we're going to go over tonight. I mean, and this might be another one of those wonderful marathon shows, but we have a lot to cover, and we're already 45 minutes in, and we have a ton to cover. And this is the thing: if we don't get our shit together, I'm talking about America, we're going to be destroyed. And I don't believe that Iran or China or any of these other countries have the technology to overtake us. But this is the thing. We have, and we've covered this for years, we have people, we could call them terrorists or people against us, or whatever you want to call it, on our soil right now, sharpening their knives, waiting for just to kick off. And when it does, they're going to come from within. And this is a problem. And this is what I keep saying over and over and over. And I wish Trump would realize what he's up against, because I think he's too naive in this in this aspect to realize what we're really up against. Because when it kicks off with China or Iran or any of these countries that are hotbeds right now against America, they're going to come out of the woodwork. We're gonna have these Indians or whatever they're called, or whatever Middle Easterns. We're gonna have Chinese, all those millions.
If
of people.
You do not believe that they are here, you're a fool. The door was let open, the southern border, and they are here.
Yeah,
that's the truth.
There was over 2 million.
Oh, easy. They're talking regular of 30 to 40 million people
but
came in.
What I'm saying is untraced.
Oh, yeah.
They came in, they didn't take the money.
Yes.
They didn't take the handouts.
Yes.
They got over here under the wire, and they came in here, and there's no trace of them, but they're here, and they're waiting for their moment. And that's their whole idea, is to get over here and take your house. You know what I mean? So anyway. All right, so let's get into this.
So I'm ready. Let's buckle up.
Yeah, we need to buckle up. How that got there though, that's you're gonna love this. Okay, we're gonna get started with some good old fashioned tough guy stuff. Okay, that's what we're gonna do.
You must be talking about Bongino.
We're gonna get some tough guy stuff in. I mean, I don't know what happened to him. I mean, maybe he's so afraid of. I mean, when I think of myself, because it's his context is different than it was before. Like his context is not like, them pieces of shit Democrats. He is saying that, but and I don't watch his show, but the clips that I did see, he's more like, all you right wing, nutballs or whatever like that. And it's like, that's not a good, I mean, the first day he had 3.9 million views, like that watched the show. The next day it was like 1.9. And the next day was like 1.1. The next day was like, today was like 700,000. I mean, it'll go up, but I mean, that's how fast it's went down because of the way he's talking. Well, check this out.
You're alienating everybody that got you to what you were.
Yeah.
And everybody doesn't buy his bullshit anymore. he was going to go in gangbusters, change the FBI, and the FBI said, you aren't changing anything. And his ass tucked a tail and ran. That's the truth.
So we're going to start with this. 2019 when he was talking about the Epstein files, talking shit about that, and then we're gonna back it up with Today Show. Just a small piece. I'm not gonna get you all wound up with tough guy Bongino. But
I want to see it because I haven't been paying attention.
Oh, hold on.
But how exactly did he do this? When you
Be sure to.
Stand by, people. Let me get it straightened out here.
Look how he looks in that. Like somebody's got his family. Like he's a hostage.
see how the cells are laid out, how high they are, how there's not really anchor points or anything, how they don't really give them a lot of metal and things to work with. And even the sheets they give them aren't like weight. They're not capable of bearing weight. Joe, they give them like it's like a paper type sheet. It doesn't bear weight. In other words, if you were to rip it, yeah, exactly, into like a rope type thing. How exactly did it happen?
Again, you want me to? I've seen the whole thing. He killed himself.
The third group of people I want to address are the grifters out there who mistakenly thought I wasn't coming back.
Why is it keep
So this next, so this is a new one.
It's a new one, but it's in the wrong. It's loading on the wrong. Hold on, sorry, people. I'm starting it over right now. Okay. What the hell is going
The third group of people I want to address are the grifters out there who mistakenly thought I wasn't coming back. Now I am back. The Podfather is back, and I'm here to take back
Podfather.
This movement's been hijacked by a small group of dipshits and bums and losers who are nothing but doomers under the frame of accountability. I'm all about accountability. I just showed you what we did or what we didn't. Did I not? I'm not sitting here going, hey, trust me, bro. I showed you. But if you like it, great. If you don't, that is absolutely your constitutional right. You paid for it to go out and go, that sucked. I would have done something different. Okay, but you didn't. You didn't do anything different. I'm not sure if you volunteered to serve or not, but you didn't. You sat in the front row with your popcorn, ankle biting, throwing this popcorn at the ring at two guys in there sparring away, fighting for this country while you did shit. You just talked about it. So you didn't do anything. Now, I'm back on the air. I'm not going to take on every single thing in one day in one show, but I'm telling you right now, your bullshit, I'm done with it. The grifter bums, all you guys are a class of doomers. Everything sucks all the time. You would have done it different. You didn't do shit. You did nothing. You didn't volunteer. You didn't ask. You didn't give up your show to do. You did nothing. All you did was bullshit people and say, nothing's happening. And then when we tell you, oh, it just happened, you move on to something else you say is not going to happen. And then when that happens, you move on to something else. You want to critique it, say you would have done better, step up. Step up. Go ahead. They got openings. You go try it. See what you're dealing with.
What do you think of that? All ego, huh? He sounds
pissed. I think he got his feelings hurt.
Yeah,
that's what it looked. Man, that looks. I mean, Number one, I think he's lost his way because his producer, if I remember right, his producer died.
Oh,
The
really?
guy who kind of guided the
Oh, he
shows
did?
at the beginning.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he died of cancer a couple of years ago, I think. I believe so. So he was the guy he always used to talk to off screen. His producer.
Yeah, what was his producer?
I don't
name?
remember
Mark
his name.
or something.
Yeah, but he's no longer. He passed away. So I mean, he's dealing with a lot of stuff. A lot of people. I can understand, man. But you went in there thinking you were gonna. You on your show, you were talking how you're gonna change the world. You went into the job, and the job changed you. That's just the way the world is. I mean, it's the FBI.
Jim Verdi.
Yeah. He passed away. He passed away right before.
Served a longtime producer for Dan Bongino. Crucial to the show's production. He is later author of blah 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 blah. Creator of the radio show and podcast. There is no major widely reported or recent public development indicating separation. Is identified as the producer behind the sample of the show. So I guess he's still there.
Oh, then that's new. I thought he had passed away.
No, it sounds like he's still there. Jim Verdi. Yeah. Well, this is Google, so I mean, Google's always right. I mean, they'll never make a mistake. But let's see, recent.
But he's also a changed man too, man. He dealt with cancer.
Yeah, he did.
You know,
and so I mean, yeah, okay. So
I see his hurt feelings. That's what I see.
Yeah, but I mean, so you come out every day and you attack.
That's a losing recipe right there.
Your base.
That's a losing recipe. That's like when Trump was saying everybody who wanted to deal with the Epstein files
aren't part of his
are
base.
part of the. Yeah, I'm like, no, dude, fuck you. You're an apologist for a pedophile.
Yeah.
Give out what you said you're going to give out.
Yeah.
You made the promise.
Yeah.
I didn't make you make the promise. You told me as a voter that you were going to, nothing was going to be held back.
Right.
And then you held it back. That makes me think some shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just human nature.
Yeah, let's not get there yet.
Yeah,
We got a
I
lot
know.
on that.
I know, but that's what
I'm
I
gonna tell
see
you,
with him.
man, listen, when we get the, oh man, oh my God. It's like, you're like, huh? No way. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe so. We got proof.
Yeah.
All right. So let's we're gonna get on in the rabbit hole a little bit more. Hopefully this goes to the right screen.
So when you hear people talk about Nick Fuentes getting the
But yeah, that's just not a winning strategy for your show.
So when you hear people talk about Nick,
you attack the people that made your show and made you the what did he call himself? The Podfather?
Podfather.
The Podfather. Oh, he's a gangster now. No. What he's lost
so
is
when you hear people talk about Nick
his
Fuentes,
humility.
Can you see it over here?
If I could lean like that, yeah.
Pisses me off. I don't know what the hell the problem is. It's supposed to come in. It's supposed to come in like it always does up here.
so when you hear people talk about Nick Fuentes getting the call,
All right. It might just be these certain videos that are coming because they're not on the right.
Yeah.
This is great, by the way. This is Ryan Mata talking about Nick Fuentes and Bongino and the fighter Jake Shields. They're having a beef, and I was like, yeah, this would be a good start because we're kind of like getting in it. We're kind of warming up. You know what I mean? Kind of getting warmed up for so stand by.
So when you hear people talk about Nick Fuentes getting the call, let me just give you a little bit of a taste of what they're talking about. Check this out.
And Jake, I mean, this guy, people have this resentment towards me. They don't want to fight me. You know, and then they just accidentally let it slip that they got this big fucking problem with me. I love that.
Well, maybe, Nick, when you come out and you try to convince America that Epstein, a dude that was torturing, sacrificing, and raping fucking children, is a cool dude, and you go around and you put an Epstein logo on your fucking shirt and you start selling fucking Epstein hoodies and bragging about how Hitler was a bad guy, and you do a complete 180 from the dude that we thought you were. You came out guns blazing, swinging like you're going to fucking save America and lead us to the promised land. And then all of a sudden you start getting $1 million gold contracts for these shitty gold scam companies that you're going to fucking market for. You get invited on the Patrick Bet. You get invited on fucking Tucker Carlson. You become this larger than life figure. And we think you're all going to fucking lead us and become the next president of our country. And you flip and turn out to be a complete homosexual loser who promotes Jeffrey Epstein. Oh yeah, I'm surprised that fucking people like Jake Shields are flipping on you.
So, whatever, bro. I'm just over it. I'm just so over that. You know, guy that literally worships Hitler. All of them worship Hitler. Hitler's the man. I love Hitler. LOL, the Holocaust.
So Nick Fuentes is now attacking Jake Shields because Jake Shields actually likes Hitler and thinks Hitler was a good guy and Hitler was pretty cool.
So I haven't ascertained yet whether you are joking when you say that Hitler was very fucking cool. Are you joking, or do you actually think he was very fucking cool? The most genocidal monster of the last 150 years.
Yeah, the thing is, my generation, we're just done with the pearl clutching. You know,
yeah, you might be, but then your generation hasn't gone through what Danny Finkelstein's family went through. So
yeah,
maybe the pearl clutching has a way to go for families whose family members
my
were
gosh,
murdered.
yeah, we got all that. We, you know, me mom, like we're. You know, I don't even know who this person is. Why is this person talking to me? This old British guy is saying, me mom got killed by Hitler.
Because he doesn't find it funny when you say Hitler's very fucking cool.
I don't care.
I
don't care.
I know you don't care.
So Nick Fuentes, the man who's literally been a nobody in a corner on Cozy TV, trying to convince the entire world that all of the youth in America that Hitler was a cool, good guy and that everything that they told us about Hitler was a lie. And then we come to find out that the president of Argentina declassified all the Hitler files. And then Hitler, the world's evilest man, was somehow protected by our government and sent over to Argentina, where he lived out the rest of his life in peace and had quite a few children. That same Hitler just seems to be off limits. Andrew Tate can't play a song about it. Ye can't make a song about it. Now Nick Fuentes, who's coming out of the muck, getting these $1 million contracts. Now Nick Fuentes has to do a complete 180 and try to convince you that Hitler wasn't this good guy. Something's not adding up here about this Hitler guy. I want to know what you guys think, but Jake Shields came down in the comments. Check this out. So in that end of that clip, Nick Fuentes basically was like, good luck, man. We'll see where Jake Shields at in 5 years. Like, Jake's doing this podcast shit for fucking to make money. Jake does this for fun. And Jake came out and he says, I've already had an extremely successful career and do podcasts as a hobby. I've been nothing but respectful to Nick and got him on big podcasts when nobody wanted to touch him. I even ignored him being a homosexual. As you all know, this is true. But apparently he wants war with me. And I said down in the comments, I'll take side Jake Shields on this one or team Jake Shields on this one. And you watch Kanye West and you watch him become radicalized. Who was he on that private jet with? Who did he go to that meeting with Trump with? Who did he go to Milo's and Tim Pool's podcast with? Who did he go on the Alex Jones show with? Oh, it was Nick Fuentes. Dressed in a Hitler mask. Kanye's on there telling us Hitler is cool. Then Ye goes out and makes this song about Nazi nigger Heil Hitler because of Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is the one who convinced us all, this entire country, that Hitler wasn't the guy that they told us he was. And now Nick Fuentes wants to come out and attack anybody who's picked up the reins and started doing a little bit of research and realized the type of man that Hitler was. And now Nick wants to go and rewrite and try to convince you that everything that he taught us about Hitler, everything that we learned, all the research that we done wasn't true. Don't believe your own lying eyes. Believe the propaganda and the Fed slop coming out of Nick Fuentes' mouth. No, fuck you, you Epstein pedophile dick-sucking little prick. Fuck you. You're as gay as a $3 bill. You haven't gotten pussy in your fucking entire life. You've been fucking allegedly sucked off fucking what's his name? What's his nuts? Destiny. And Nick Fuentes is the one who was at the gay bar with Glenn Griswold.
I think what a lot of people don't know is that you and I did cross paths once before. And
As a matter of discretion, I never talked about it, but you actually decided to talk about it on your show. And I just wanted to play that clip briefly of where you described our interaction.
Glenn Greenwald. Hey, Glenn Greenwald. Excuse me, brah. You're excused. You're excused. Glenn Greenwald passes by me. He's in this is a gay club, by the way. Don't ask me why I'm there. This is a gay club because Glenn Greenwald's here. Don't ask me why I'm there. I'm there to kill everyone. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
I had to. Now I like Nick. I've always liked Nick. In the last year or so, when he started getting popular again. I mean, he was part of the band. I mean, everybody got banned in 1918. Whenever it was, everybody got banned off YouTube and all that stuff, and they all lost their channels, and they all had to, figure it out. And he's been on Alex Jones a bunch last year, quite a few times about different topics. Very smart. Like, he's very politically smart. But this thing, when he got me was when he said he don't want to fight with me. You know who Jake Shields is?
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll fucking I put a comment in there. I'm like, he'll beat the bark off of you, dude. Are you kidding me? He'll just peel your bark right off. I mean, it's like this internet trolls, man. Internet fucking keyboard warriors. I mean, it's just crazy. And so look, he's got some deals recently. I think that's what happened. I think that he got in with the people, like you said, different podcasts, and he got recognized for his outgoing, uncensorable content, because he just says whatever the fuck he wants. He don't care. He don't care what it is. He called fucking Candace Owens a bitch. I mean, it's just, just like that. He don't, no censorship. And he got some deals. And when you get deals, you have to change your tune for the $1 million for the money, because
you will censor.
Hey, listen, like he went on Alex's show with Ye.
Yeah, and a cap.
And he had that cap on, talking about that they love Hitler. And Netanyahu, remember he had the net and the Yahoo bottle. And I'm like, and then now he's talking about Hitler. There's something wrong with Hitler, but Hitler was the best thing since sliced cheese. So I guess it was all a show. That's what I get. It was all just a show. I mean,
clicks.
And I don't get down with the what I don't do as my audience is, I don't get down with the invite, that bullshit, the infighting bullshit. Like, I respect Ryan Mata. I mean, he does some good work. He really does get in there and pushes other people's shows and all that stuff. But I don't get in with this person or that person's a piece of, all these, the infighting thing. I don't do it. I just don't. I mean, I might clown.
But that's why I think the movement's falling apart at the seams, is because all of the infighting.
Yeah.
Instead of getting behind something.
Yeah.
They're. I mean, whatever. Nick Fuentes. I mean, hey, okay, he says some outrageous shit. Okay,
do you know
that's
that
cool.
If I went right now and just all my content was about hate Trump, I would fucking quadruple.
Oh yeah,
but
absolutely.
I won't, because I'm gonna go with what I believe, what I think
stand
is
for
right.
something.
I stand for something, or I'll fall for anything, and that's just the way it is.
And that's exactly what I see in this. You know what I mean? You said some racy things to get on the scene, and
now you're backpedaling.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, sad, dude.
All right, so we're gonna look at a couple.
But he's young. I mean, he's a young man.
He's like 27.
Yeah, he's young. I mean, he hasn't figured it out. He won't for another 25 years. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, God bless him on his journey, but man, is that out of focus, or is it my eyes?
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. It's just a little blurry. It's all good.
All right. I don't know if you could see it on the internet, so we're going to read it. You want to read it, John? Can you see it?
Yeah. It says
This
sent.
is to a bed in Huma, Obama, Barack, Podesta, J, Affleck, Ben, or B, Pelosi, and Nan.
For
And
Nancy.
Pelosi, Nancy. Okay. Dear Barack, go ahead. You read it.
Dear Barack, when we began the pizza arrangement, I thought we were going to be more careful than this. Operating from this White House is not what I originally had in mind. Remember that the hot dogs can come, but if you make a spectacle of it, that will be our downfall. Please please know that I am speaking as a friend. You are the president and can do as you like, but I have to say, I think it would be wiser to restrict this activity to our predetermined locations. Let me know what everyone thinks. We can vote on it if you'd like. Thanks, Hillary. ...
Now, so the reason why I brought that up is because remember the $62,000 worth of hot dogs? It was for boys, right? And the pizza orders was for pizza young girls or whatever. And so when we were doing this research, this is some of the stuff that we came across. These emails are. So I have this link. I'm going to give it to you right now if you want to write it down. It's J Mail, MAIL.world. Now you go on that website and it has a list of people that Jeffrey Epstein emailed. Now this didn't come from
frequently
emailed, like millions of emails in this thing, and it has all the communication with Jeffrey Epstein and Edward Barack and even Steve Bannon when he was writing the book or doing the movie or whatever, because they did a movie on
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk is in there. I mean, there's just lots of people. So you can check that out at jmail.world.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates all over it. I mean, lots of people all over it.
Alan Dershowitz.
Alan Dershowitz is in there a little bit. But he was the attorney, right?
Oh yeah,
right. He was the attorney, and I don't know if he ordered hot
that's
dogs.
always
or pizza.
reason to talk with a
I'm not
pedophile.
sure if it was 7 people for a piece of pizza, or if it was that $500,000 was for legal services. I'm not sure. Anyway,
I don't know.
So you can check that out. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there, and we're gonna get to it. But,
yeah, just decipher, go through.
Now we'll go on to what happened yesterday.
We're gonna do this the old-fashioned way. I don't know if it's the way I downloaded this or something, but it's giving me trouble. So we're just gonna poke through this like this. Just bear with me. So this is Epstein's sex empire was KGB honey trap pedophile financer, had multiple talks with Putin after conviction with Russian girls. Flow in a harvest. What's that word? I don't even know what that word. Compromat on world famous figures. Now, remember what they said.
It was a honeypot.
Yeah, remember what they said before these came out, that they had inputted a bunch of different things in these files because the Democrats had them for 4 years or longer. And remember that when you see some of this stuff like Putin, if you think Putin had anything to do with Epstein, I would think maybe not. But then again, I don't know. But Putin doesn't seem like one of those people that is trying to,
I don't think that Putin diddled, but I do think he used
the honey
traps,
honey pots.
Yeah. I think he could do that. He could get down like
these
that.
These are your pedophile codes, And if you look at some of these files when we're going through them, you're going to see, especially the boy lover one is very prominent in here. The hot dogs, obviously the pasta, but the lot of these different symbols, especially the one in the top left and the one on the top right, the heart inside of a heart inside of a heart, those are used in these emails a lot. So I just wanted you to see this, and most of you probably have already seen this stuff, but I'm just going over it because this is some of the things that we've came across in our. So when we play videos and you see these little symbols in the background, if you do, I don't know if you will. These are the symbols: the triangle and the heart inside of a heart inside of a heart. And maybe anywhere that you see these symbols on somebody's backpack or, a tattoo, or, now you know that these are symbols for different types of pedophilia, whether it's, girls, little girls, or, child lover or whatever. Okay. So the butterfly is for child lover. Okay. Which is another very popular one. And anyway, I just thought I would show that to you. This one right here, male prostitute. It's the 2 arrow rings. All these things is what they use as symbols to let people know what they're into without coming out and saying it. That's really what I want to say about that. Okay. Now, I'm going to go over this J-mail real quick with this lady that was the one that put it out on the internet. So you can get the information. Maybe you save this video or maybe screen record it if you want to be able to know how to get into the files. Because every file, whether it's the government one, what's it called? Is it DOJ file?
Yeah.
Or this J mail, they're kind of, you have to be able to get around them. If you're not a computer person, this lady right here is going to break it down for you so you kind of understand what's going on. Stand by.
I come bearing gifts for you all
Oh,
today.
shit.
So it came across at jmail.world. Someone else out there doing the Lord's work, because we know it's not our authorities.
Hold on, I gotta move it over.
Technical difficulties.
I come bearing.
I don't know. I think it's just these particular ones. We're gonna do it the old-fashioned way, though.
Gifts for you all today. So it came across at jmail.world. Someone else out there doing the Lord's work, because we know it's not our authorities. They have taken all the Epstein files and put it into a user interface that makes it look like you are in Epstein's email. You have his Gmail and his Yahoo that you can go to. You can also, on the left, search by person that he's emailing. So if you want to see certain conversations with certain people, you can do that. In the top search bar, you can search for certain terms. And then when you're in the email itself, on the top right, if you want to go to the original document, they have that too. On the bottom, you have these apps. The first one is all the pictures. So the second one is a Google Drive. So it's all of the PDFs and files. The third one is the flights. So you can even search by flight. And then there's more apps. Like you can go in like you're in his Facebook. You can see everything. It's honestly amazing. So this will make your experience going and looking through the files, or just, having some interest in what's going on. This is the source I think you should use. It's definitely a lot more user-friendly. I'm going to go donate to this person because my mind is blown. Anyway, hopefully it's helpful. Stay tuned.
Yeah, so I wanted everybody to have access to that, so that that way you can do your own research, because it's important that I can show you this stuff, but if you can't find it and see it for yourself, with AI and all the different things going on nowadays. I mean, it's just better if you can find it yourself and you can look at it and see.
Yeah, it
where
changed the way
it,
when I was
its
looking at it. I was like,
sources,
holy shit.
So
And
when you have
everything she
sources,
said, it worked.
Yeah. So check that out. It's very, very good information too, by the way. And so we have some other stuff we're going to get into.
The most important people.
I have to move these files over one by one for some reason. And I don't know if it's because of what we're dealing with and it's doing this to us or what. We don't know, but we've had some weird things happening. Like we've lost sound and all kinds of cool little things recently. So let's just do this like this.
The most important people to have stability and consistency would be businessmen. So he formed this trilateral commission of businessmen and politicians from three.
He's literally talking about how they made the fucking basically the Illuminati. This is it's so you literally have so remember what I said? This is like a dev video. What the fuck? It's literally just a dev video. Alex Jones was right about everything.
Okay, I'm gonna break down this whole. Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein thing in less than 5 minutes in a nutshell. I don't have time to give all the details, so you want to give all the details, do it on your page. Listen, let's go through the history of this thing. Picture it, Sicily, 1934. No, I'm kidding. Back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, there was this guy, rich guy, Donald Trump, right? And he was a humanitarian, a philanthropist. Did I mention very rich? Well, he gave his money to a lot of great causes, including furthering the Black community. Got awards from the NAACP alongside Rosa Parks and Muhammad Ali for his work that he was doing in the Black community. He gave Jesse Jackson donations to fund his campaign when he was running for president back in the day. He sent his jet to get Nelson Mandela. You get the picture, right? So this guy says, I'm going to run for president. Ha ha. Well, he actually won. Well, since he won, he said, you know what? I've always said in interviews how I would help the American people and get this country back on track by using tariffs, because that's the key to making sure that the American taxpayers can see their money and actually prosper. Well, in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to drain the swamp. Well, the inhabitants of the swamp dwellers said, absolutely the fuck not. How dare you think you're going to stop our gravy train? We've been making money off of the backs of tax-paying American citizens for decades, and you are not going to throw a monkey wrench in this machine. So what we're going to do, we're going to write a narrative about you. We're going to tell everybody that you're racist, because we know that word gets everyone in a tizzy and in their emotions, and they stop thinking. They're just going to believe everything that we say. Well, come to find out, yes, quite a few people did believe that lie. But then there are those of us who thought back and said, wait a minute, when did this guy become racist? Where did this come from? Well, either way it goes, Donald Trump was like, quit playing on my name, because you know that I know what you've been up to. And you know that I know that you know that I know. Don't make me talk about Epstein. Well, that sent them in a whirlwind, and they said, absolutely not. And instead of them just saying, you know, go ahead, Donald, we've made enough off the citizens' greed. It's funny like that, you know. They doubled down and they said, well, since you're bringing up Epstein, we're going to lie and tell them that you're in those files. Well, the devil's very tricky, because technically speaking, he was in those emails. Donald Trump said, yeah, release the files. And they said, well, you know what? Nah, we're going to hold up on that. No, we're not going to do that. So he created such a tizzy with the American people that the American people kept demanding the files, and they have no choice but to release them now. Checkmate. So now that we see, yes, he's in those files, let's talk about how he's in those files. Come to find out, Jeffrey Epstein hated Donald Trump. Do you guys know why he hated him? Lo and behold, he's the whistleblower. This man is actually the federal informant that turned everybody on to Epstein. He said, hey, I kicked this guy off my resort many years ago because he's a creep. And I don't like what he's doing with underage girls. I will not have it. I don't want to be associated with him. I don't want no dealings with that guy. So ever since then, Jeffrey Epstein had a vendetta against Donald Trump. But the thing is, they couldn't find nothing to blackmail him with. Imagine that. But guess who else is in those files? Guess who Jeffrey Epstein loves? The damn Democrats. He was texting Stacey Plaskett during a damn hearing. And then on top of that, guess what? He gave so much money to Hakeem Jeffries when he was running, and this is after he was a convicted you know what. Also, let's talk about the fact that Bill Clinton had been to his island over 25 times, allegedly, according to one of Bill Clinton's top aides and also one of the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. And come to find out, guess what I just read today? Bill Gates absolutely loved Jeffrey Epstein, even after he was convicted, you know what? And Melinda, his wife at the time, put a stop to it. She said, bitch, text him again and see what happened. Well, now that we see everything is out in the open and those files have shown exactly what a stand-up guy Donald Trump really is, they're going to do the thing that they always do. Distract you and say, hey, look over there, something shiny. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, and you can guess that base is actually going to fall for it. Hook, line, and sinker. They do it every time. They're so easy to manipulate. But either way it goes, listen, guys, let everybody know what set you repping this Thanksgiving, okay? Donald Junquavius, because we roll with winners. We don't like losers. I'll talk to y'all later. I will call you back. God bless you. God bless America. God bless Donald Junquavius Trump, honey. Talk to you later.
She had me rolling, dude.
Yeah, she's funny. It was pretty good though. But you know, when she's talking about it, makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, when
I
you think
remember, dude, I'm that old. I remember when Donald Trump built up Mike Tyson. Donald Trump, I remember him getting the awards from the NAACP. I remember that. It's not that long ago in my life, but these younger people never saw that. They just
Right.
believe what happened from 2015
Yeah.
to now. You know, he helped a lot.
A lot of people.
Lots
of people. Still.
Absolutely.
In his last term, remember what he did with the black people? Yeah,
absolutely. And I'm just like, fucking.
So if I told you that, and you know about LDS, Latter Day Saints.
Yeah.
Do you know about that crew? You
Well,
how
I
they
know
are?
of them. I don't know.
So they are kind of a together kind of like they
voting block. I know that.
But they're together. Like they have bunkers and or they have basements full of food, storages full of food.
Yeah.
They take
They're
care
preppers.
of they take care of their
Yeah.
people.
Oh, yeah.
They all stick together.
Yeah.
And but I have this clip. It's kind of long. It's very long actually. But what he's talking about out of the Epstein files will blow your mind about these pastors in the LDS church. It's pretty crazy. Let's see if I can get this.
If you go to Justice,
Still in the wrong way.
Going old school.
It's gotta be a setting because it's never done this before.
Well, maybe you had an update, didn't know about it, because that's what happens a lot.
This is a little bit longer clip, but just bear with me. We're just gonna roll it because I think it's pertinent for where we're going. It's a little bit long, but we're just gonna do most of it. We won't do all of it, but we'll do most of it.
.gov/Epstein and search the Epstein files for the keywords BYU, BYU Idaho, Mormon, or LDS. It is shocking how many documents come up. In my last couple of videos, I posted this file that says that Jeffrey Epstein himself met with the prophet of the Mormon Church in 2009. But when you look at this file, it gets even worse. This is a letter from Jeffrey Epstein or to Jeffrey Epstein from this individual. I am Esther Cohen Tizer Epstein. Okay, so he's calling himself Esther Cohen Tizer Epstein. I am a convicted offender and blah, blah, blah. And then it says, either way, myself, my common law husband, Peter, John Benet, Klein, Tizer Epstein. So does this have to do with John Benet Ramsey? It even mentions going to Colorado. Now, there is a lot of explicit material discussed in here where they are celebrating these healing parties with Jeffrey Epstein. They talk about going to Epstein Island and all kinds of other stuff. He says, my grandmother was known as the black hole of Bialystok, whatever that is, the black hole of Bialystok. There it mentions Boulder, Colorado, and planning to study nutrition. It says, you have a great gift, Esther. And then it describes alternating pregnancies, having daughters and having children on purpose, to where if you have kids on a regular basis, you can donate them to this trafficking ring. And it says that you can, Jeffrey Epstein, who had bought the Zorro Ranch, he adopted my teenage daughter. And then this is where it talks about BYU and the Mormon Church. It talks in this document in great detail about making donations to the BYU gender studies. This is an infamous study that BYU did about homosexuality and gender, and forcing people out of their sexuality and out of their gender identification into alternative things. And then here it says, at first, Jeffrey was furious, but I pointed out that by staggering his daughters every 8 years, he would always have a supply of ripe girls at his disposal. And then he says that they donated $50,000 to gender study programs, and then it's redacted, but we know this is BYU. All she had to do was send him a pint of Mormon blood every week. So he's talking about sending girls to BYU or BYU Idaho for the purpose of planting them at these schools, and all they have to do is send them a pint of Mormon blood every week. What in the world are they doing with that? Are they drinking it? Like, are they using it for these sick rituals? It mentions Ghislaine Maxwell. There's Jeffrey Epstein himself with an unknown girl whose face is blacked out in the background. But there are multiple files in here where Jeffrey Epstein is emailing back and forth about wire transferring money in order to get these people into BYU Idaho and into Brigham Young University. This other file right here specifically says, like, I'm so thankful for your willingness to help. She will do good in school. And they specifically sent and wire transferred money to BYU Idaho in order to plant people at these universities. And it specifically says documents with the current school rates for BYU Idaho. Okay, so here, these are all the smoking guns that these people in the Epstein files were involved in trafficking people to BYU Idaho, and involved in funding the gender studies that went on there. Here is a whole other email that talks about providing assistance with the payment to BYU Idaho in order to put students, particularly their own children, that are involved in this trafficking in BYU and in BYU Idaho. But all they have to do is produce a pint of Mormon blood for these sickos in order to do whatever they're doing. It says every week they have to give a pint of blood as sort of an offering in order to get admission into BYU and BYU Idaho. And in that first document, I already covered this in the last two videos about how in 2009, Jeffrey Epstein himself allegedly met with the prophet of the Mormon Church, which was either Gordon B. Hinckley or Thomas S. Monson. And now as I go through these files and I look up things a little bit more deeply, here, this is another document about paying LDS tuition to either BYU or BYU Idaho and the fees for that, and how Jeffrey Epstein was paying for their school to go to these LDS universities. But the more I look into it, I think it might have been Gordon B. Hinckley.
Bill Claudden, a lifelong Mormon, began investigations into allegations of immoral practices among the Mormon leaders, specifically President Gordon B. Hinckley.
Gordon Hinckley was involved in
heterosexual and homosexual love affairs at the home on Lakeline Drive, as well as the apartment above the car lot on South Main.
I was personally involved with the Apostle Gordon Hinckley sexually. We became financially involved in a house at 2213 Lakeline Drive. We bought the house for a party pad. And Gordon Hinckley came up there all the time. And I had to arrange women for him. I had to arrange booze for him.
I had 4 or 5 bedrooms, 3-story job, beautiful home. We used to go up there all the time. I took prostitutes up in Indian Hills, which is an exclusive neighborhood in Salt Lake. And this went on for several years. And basically, most of the girls they requested me to bring to them were black girls. And most of them were tall and kind of lanky. Louis would bring up 4 or 5 girls at a time, bring them to the door. Mr. Hinckley, amongst other people, were there. But they'd drink, dance. Maybe the girls would dance for them, in front of them. Then they'd gather up a man and go into the bedroom.
Mr. Hinckley and all of them were sitting there, and I remember one night when I was there, he was sitting there and he was really getting loose, and he had his arm around this one girl, and pretty soon I seen everybody just taking off, going this way and that way to different rooms.
These parties are something else. And these people that are supposed to be good LDS, they were supposed to be important people and supposed to be good church-going people and things like that. Some were bishops and counselors and various things that I actually seen going there or leaving there.
There was a couple of young boys at a party one night when I was there. And I'd say they were around 15 or 16. That I seen them talking with Hinckley, and they went off to a bedroom together. Hinckley and the boys, the 2 boys.
They like to have feminine-looking boys. Youngsters. I'm talking about 15, 16 years old. Just little youngsters, babies.
They live a double standard. Their leaders are saying one thing and living another lifestyle.
I think that's enough. I mean, you get the point, right? These fucking people are sick. So that was the
But that's what it's all about. It's about the blasphemy. It's about being satanic in the churches, and it's just sad. And you can, it's some sick shit. I mean, it's not my get down, man. That's some crazy stuff. That's you're messing with pure evil.
Yeah, well, it gets worse.
Oh yeah,
this is
just scratching the surface.
Yeah,
I'm
just and I'm trying to do this in a way to I mean, I would say that viewer discretion, the rest of this, because it starts getting. Nothing graphic. I don't have anything graphic, but just the words, the things that they're talking about, is it's
unsettling.
Unsettling for sure. Absolutely.
Man, I'll tell you, of all the
Yeah.
Everything I downloaded today.
Man, I'll tell you, of all the information that I've seen so far, of all the different drops, this is the most disturbing, and it carries with it a horrific reality of the world that we live in. And honestly, it's a world that most people would rather not even know exists. And this account here is an interview from an alleged victim. And what happened on that yacht is horrific. Think about the hundreds of thousands of children who are trafficked every single year, and that's just the United States alone. There are millions more worldwide every single year. Now, Nicki Minaj posted this on her X account a little less than 24 hours ago. Are y'all understanding that these people have been sacrificing children as a way of gaining and maintaining power? She then goes and follows up with, your favorite artist has been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they take babies from other countries, mutilate, and unalive them as a form of blood sacrifice to their god. This is the music industry. This is Hollywood. It's the elites of the world. It's the Republicans. It's the Democrats. It's the rich and the powerful. This isn't anything new. This is Old Testament kind of stuff. The Canaanites would have these sacrificial rituals to their god Baal in order to try to gain personal prosperity. And now here we are, all these years later, different time, same demons. I know people don't want this to be true. I get it. It's too horrific. You don't want to believe that this kind of evil exists in the world that we live in, but it does.
I would say everyone said, I want the money for my children.
Did they know where the money came from?
I think if you told them,
if
I told them the
100%.
devil
himself.
The devil himself said, I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life.
This is why child trafficking is a billion-dollar industry. But the reality is infinitely worse. Over 300,000 children are trafficked every year in the United States alone. And 40% of them were first sold by family members. An estimated 30,000 never make it out alive. And these are just the ones that we know about. Imagine the ones that we don't. The devil is real, and he's in the people that do this.
Yeah, so, I mean, very difficult. That's very difficult. I mean, very, very difficult.
That's why, like I said, you keep your children close, man. It's a sick world.
You keep your children close and your enemies closer, I guess.
Yeah.
There's Tom Pritzker.
This one's going to be a shocker for nobody.
There's Tom Pritzker. He's definitely an associate of Jeffrey Epstein. Virginia Giuffre accused him of raping her years ago. He's a monster. He was actually listed in Jeffrey Epstein's black book as numero uno. Numero uno.
That's Tom Pritzker.
Yes. So that would be
Governor J.B.
Pritzker's cousin.
Describe who the Pritzkers are for the folks that don't know.
So they're this elite family. He is the chairman of the Hyatt hotels, and then his cousin would be J.B. Pritzker, the corrupt moron, fat pig governor of Illinois. And their family actually has been very involved in pushing the trans agenda on children. And what are we learning now from the Epstein files? We're learning that Jeffrey Epstein and his associates were big on transing children. There are emails talking about, giving children at the age of 3, like sex hormones to change their sex. And if you want to go deeper on the trans agenda, well, like, why are all these satanic elites pushing the trans agenda? Well, what is a trans person? That would be pushing Baphomet. They're one of their, satanic gods, whatever you want to call it, is, half female, half male. And so for them, transing children is a ritual, but it's also, just another sexually perverse thing that they can do to harm children.
Elaborate on that, because you're absolutely right. It's in the emails. He's meeting, he's with top scientists, top futurists, top biological evolution experts talking about taking over society with transgenderism. And you got the Pritzker, he's saying he's numero uno. That means the boss.
I think so, because when you read Virginia Giuffre's book, he uses the reference number 1 or numero uno for his top person or favorite person. So Virginia Giuffre said that she became his favorite sex slave. So he called her number 1. So when I see him referring to Tom Pritzker as numero uno, that makes me think that he's not just a co-conspirator, he is his top co-conspirator. And he has worked very hard to try to, not get these files released. But his family is deeply involved in the trans agenda. They've spent a lot of money on it. And as you know, in Hollywood, you see so many celebrities that are transing their children, as toddlers. And there's so many of them that do it. These kids can't even speak yet, and they have boys dressing as girls and vice versa. Well, that's because this is part of a ritual. there's the rumor is that, when you're part of the satanic club in Hollywood, you have to either sacrifice a child, or you have to trans a child. It's one or the other. And that's why you see an abnormal amount of trans kids in Hollywood. It's a ritual. It's a satanic ritual.
Yep. And if you don't know who Liz Crokin is, she has been on the Pizzagate thing for years, exposing them. You know who she is, exposing the corruption and the pedophilia and the kids that are missing and all that stuff. She's been doing this for years. It's like it's her lane that she stays in. You know what I mean? She does, and so when all this started coming out, he was like, Alex was like, well, who should I have on that covers this particular type of stuff? Because he's not an expert at these different things. That's why he had like his producer in there, because his producer's been looking through the files and looking at all this stuff and getting all this information. And, and she is like, I seen her at a, what's it called? The thing that that General Flynn was doing with why can't I think of his name right now? That tall dude. It's like America. What was it called? Save America or something like that during Trump, when Trump was running for president last time, and they were going all over the United States. I seen her when they were in the down in Fresno, and I went down there, and she broke it down like really well about this whole thing. That I had no idea that this was so prominent. Like, this is what they do. They literally, the satanic cult do this, and they get these kids they steal the kids, millions of them. They come up missing all the time, and you think that your kid's safe, and it's like, it's not like when we used to ride bicycles at,
Oh no, man.
when we were kids. It's not the same. And the trans cult is out of control, by the way. It's just out of control. And we're going to get to it right now, but
Okay, so you're wondering where all the trans...
This guy right here breaks it down. Give me a second. All right, John?
Yep.
You with me, brother?
I'm with you, baby. Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're wondering where all the trans madness came from? Hardly organic now, was it? Well, we get some answers in the old files. So here we have Robert Trivers, a Harvard biologist, in just one of his emails to Jeffrey. And he's talking stuff here that's pretty sick. And the thing is that this guy, he was thrown out of his university, suspended in 2014. And in a 2015 interview with Reuters, Trivers called Jeffrey a person of integrity and did not see Epstein's acts as so heinous, because by the time girls are 14 or 15, they're like grown women were 60 years ago, he said on the record. And he also blew about Epstein and how great he was and what a real pleasure he was, and a lot of other stuff. But let's look at his content in this email. Now, I won't read this out, but this is the kind of stuff we're talking about. This is how the elites think. And here's another one I won't read out, but you get the idea. And I will read out this piece. By the way, we are now pushing the intervention earlier. Oh, I bet you are. So you notice your 3-year-old son has trans tendencies? So now you intervene with hormones. I'd be frightened to do that, but who knows? What a sick puppy, eh? And of course, we know many cases of the elites and the billionaires. This is Tablet Magazine, quite a few years ago, 2022, setting up foundations, funding, and the media, of course, as well, to get the whole trans thing as widely spread as possible. It's a social contagion run pretty much from tops down. Now, another factor, of course, in their zeal in this perverse matter is that the average trans person, as they ruin their lives with all the operations and medications, has been estimated to be worth perhaps up to $1 million per life ruined. So there's a lot of profit on the table too. Now,
yeah, so
$1 million.
What? Whatever.
That's crazy. $1 million invested in changing yourself.
$1 million a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, $1 million a
$1 million a person. That's crazy.
It's $1 billion operation. I mean, it's
But
crazy.
that picture's so crazy because I thought it was him dressed in drag. And that's his sister.
It's his sister or brother or something.
Oh my goodness.
But it's a politician worth millions of dollars.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
And they pushed the they're in where's he at? Illinois or
yeah, he's the governor of Illinois.
Illinois. And I would never live in a place like that. So it's gonna get pretty spicy now. We got
you know what's crazy is he's a Republican too.
He is?
Yeah.
Pritzker
Yeah,
is a Republican.
Pritzker's a Republican. Yeah. Yep. Yes, sir. Scary, huh?
Is Pritzker a Republican? No, he's a Democrat.
Is he?
Yeah. Democrat Party.
Oh, I thought he was a Republican.
No, but he's just like a Republican. They're all the same. All the politicians are the same. We did that one. We did that one. I want to do this before we.
It reminds me of hell was that Robin Williams movie?
Doubtfire.
Yeah, Miss Doubtfire. Yeah. That's.
Yeah.
Remember, we used to laugh at that shit.
Well,
it was funny.
It was funny.
That is. This is not a funny situation, but that reminded me of that movie. That's an ugly bitch. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on.
I know. I'm hating. I'm sorry. Well, that's a homely looking woman, I'll say. How's that? Is that better?
Now, a shout out here to Norm.
Yeah, you just kept pushing forward, man. We're getting through it.
We're gonna work it out here.
Yeah.
Work it out.
It's in the transfer stage right there. I see something behind the original that.
Now a shout out.
They all stay. That's
Why don't I give you some context? And the problem is when you give context to anything, people think you're apologizing for it. Of course, I'm not apologizing for it.
Not ready for that one yet.
All right. Just close it all. There you go. Start fresh. New palette.
Now a shout out here to Norman Finkelstein, a Holocaust background survivor person. And he basically dealt with this guy, Trivers, in no uncertain terms, calling Alan Dershowitz a pedopist and saying Trivers should be ashamed for defending them. And both should be strangled instead, apparently. But anyway, that's what's in the Epstein files. Good job, Norman. But let's move on quickly from the trans debacle to this human debacle here, Mr. Gates. And of course, plenty in
Welcome, friendly people, to Comet Pizza and Ping Pong. Have any of you enjoyed this special pizza here tonight?
Pizzagate. Instagram algorithm exposed promoting pedophile networks in massive investigation, video sales, preteen sex menus, in-person meetups with underage boys and girls using emojis such as a map and a cheese pizza.
But I'd pass it around and get some money for the pizza. What do you have, Harvey? 200? Kevin? Cheese. Where's Harvey Weinstein? Harvey. Cheese, that's a cheese.
Two things. Pizza and us. And us. For the most evil invention in the world contest, I invented a child molesting robot. It's a robot that is designed to molest children. I eat children. How old are you? 12. Oh, okay. Only to 10.
So they were always trying to call for pizzas. Kids were not always enthusiastic.
And they said the Pizza Underground is here.
Yes, sir. You were in a Pizza Underground band. We replaced all the lyrics with pizza.
I saw you looking actually down there. I saw you being really excited about the possibility of having a pizza party with a pop star. Do you have pizza parties with pop stars often? No. Okay. Just checking.
It's called Secret Pizza Party. Oreo pepperoni. Look.
A verification that high-level Washington, D.C. predatory pedophiles were using a code to communicate child sex trafficking as casually as ordering a pizza. An FBI unclassified document from WikiLeaks revealed symbols and logos used by pedophiles to identify sexual preferences. Comet Ping Pong owner James Alefantis needs to explain himself, and so he did, via the Hillary Clinton colluding New York Times. But so many questions remain unanswered. Why was this said by the band Heavy Breathing performing in Comet Ping Pong?
He likes the world sounds. Tamales.
And little boys. And children.
I think I was his manager.
No.
We all have preferences. Welcome, friendly people, to Comet Pizza and Ping Pong. Have any of you enjoyed this special pizza here tonight? But no, she didn't. She held on to that child all the way to the end. And the fucked up thing was really, it was after it was born. I had to put that shit down. Euthanasia.
You're probably wondering what the hell you just watched.
Pizza and ping pong.
You're probably also wondering why the hell a ping pong place owned by Friends of the Podestas that Hillary Clinton has even held fundraisers at would also be hosting something as bizarre as this.
It's fucking hard. I was like, is this what happens when somebody's got babies? And it gets a gaga. I was like, all this noise.
There's a good chance you've never heard of this because you're probably not a pedophile, but pizza is actually a term used by pedophiles to describe pedophilia or child porn. Like any other underworld, say like the mafia, for example, the world of pedophilia has its own language, a language that's often reflected in Podesta's emails. Here's one example. A handkerchief pizza-related map? Okay. But what's really telling is they describe this pizza-related handkerchief map as a square cloth handkerchief that's white and black. This is significant because there actually is something called the handkerchief code. Black signifies S&M and bondage, and white signifies underage sex.
Sandler Foundation to John Podesta, quote,
"Do you think I'll do better playing dominoes on cheese than on pasta?"
Or this one from Cheryl Mills to Hillary Clinton, quote, "I will be sacrificing a chicken in the backyard to Moloch," end quote. Or this one,
"The realtor found a handkerchief. I think it has a map that seems pizza related."
Which, sure, if you don't know anything about John Podesta and his brother going to occult sex rituals, or Tony Podesta's sculpture in his home that is modeled after the poses that Jeffrey Dahmer put his victims in, or the artwork of Tony Podesta's favorite artist whose graphic paintings adorn his home, or the Clintons and Podesta's close ties to known pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, or Podesta's close friendship with pedophile Dennis Hastert, or the fact that the pizza place right next door has a logo that literally is listed in the FBI database as a symbol for pedophiles. And then, of course, there's this.
You want perks from her.
But now you know. Which makes the Instagram feed of the Comet Ping Pong's owner seem more than just a little bit creepy.
Fucking wild, dude. These fucking people are crazy. Yeah, so in sex trafficking, right? End it now, right? I mean, that was a older clip, but that was the one that has Hillary and all the all what's her name, Ellen DeGeneres,
Yeah.
DeGeneres, and her her whole thing was she fled the United States. You know why? Because Epstein files, right? And The Rock, people that you would think that wouldn't be. So this thing with Hollywood, the movie industry, the music industry, the especially those two, you can't even get in unless you're diddling or being diddled when you're a kid. And all those kids that grew up that we watched on TV when we were growing up, they were
All like on Nickelodeon. All of them got
all of them were
diddled.
being diddled, man. It's
Yep.
so crazy.
Yep.
And so you don't know this, and you know this thing about it. This is a small piece of the Epstein files. This is just
This is the clean version.
This is a clean version, but more than that, this is the hors d'oeuvre at the party. I mean, you still have, the main course is financial markets and all that stuff. That's what really is
Gonna
involved
shake,
here.
yeah.
This is just the enticing part to get people to participate in their bullshit, because what they're really doing is it's all about money. It's all about money and power. And property and power, and it's all about that. And we're going to cover it along the way. We're just getting through this sick shit. We're close. There's some more things before we get to the Epstein stuff, because I have some stuff that's going to be maybe a shocker for you, maybe not. But but this is how sick these people are, okay? This is the thing. This is how sick these people are, okay? Stand by. You know this guy?
No, that looks like the face of evil right there. Look at that soulless fuck. He sucks some souls out of people. Look at that.
You can get paid a lot more than that.
So how much do you want for it? Let's bid. I bid $500 for you. I'm prepared to outbid him anyway. Whatever I bid, he's going to outbid me. I bought about $60,000 worth of eggs. Yeah. If you have abortion, that's very valuable. Umbilical cord, placenta, even your period blood is so rich with stem cells. Yeah. We regard it as waste, and it actually should be. It should be captured as recycled, and it shouldn't go to waste. It's life for somebody, and it's life for George R. Bush. No, the best eggs are 16 to 18 years old. Those are the best eggs.
16 to 18-year-olds. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So you may not be our top candidate.
No, that's fine. I think that was my business anyway.
And notice he slaps him around like a pimp. By the way, you women are like 30. I want 16-year-olds. I mean, folks. And then he did it with a huge medical facility. So understand, we ain't in 2020 26. We're like at 2050 and vampires running. These are literal vampires.
And the young girl that is on record that he actually took his own child, he had a child with a 14-year-old, and he was taking the stem cells from that baby. I think they brought it to term maybe 8 months, I believe.
Yeah.
And then started taking the cells right from the baby and injecting it into himself. He personally did it.
Well, that's when they kept alive.
Find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you thought Jeffrey Epstein was the only elite pedophile to traffic young girls and women to a remote island to fulfill his sick pleasures, then think again. On February 2020, a class action lawsuit against Peter Nygaard has earned this case against women's fashion mogul the title of Epstein 2.0. The class action suit alleges that Nygaard recruited, lured, and enticed young, impressionable, and often impoverished children and women with cash payments and false promises of lucrative modeling opportunities to assault, rape, and sodomize them.
Watch who you see. Pay attention.
Canadian fashion mogul Peter Nygaard was charged on Tuesday with sex trafficking, racketeering, and other crimes involving dozens of women and underage girls. The charges span 3 countries and almost 3 decades, according to U.S. authorities. The 79-year-old was arrested by Canadian police on Monday and then extradited to the U.S. to face trial. Federal prosecutors say Nygaard, who owns a namesake clothing company and is one of Canada's wealthiest people, used his influence to recruit and maintain victims for sex in the U.S., Canada, and the Bahamas since 1995. Authorities said the victims were assaulted by Nygaard and his associates, and that some of the women were drugged. He often targeted vulnerable women from disadvantaged backgrounds and allegedly took them to company-funded so-called pamper parties with food and spa services, as well as swingers clubs, then intimidated them to have sex with him or other men. Nygaard used threats of arrest, reputational harm, and lawsuits to silence potential accusers, the indictment said. Meanwhile, his lawyers say he denies the allegations. He also faces class action civil litigation in Manhattan by 57 unnamed women accusing him of sexual misconduct.
Imagine climbing over a cliff to get to your bed. The next home on our tour is one of the world's largest and most unusual. It's twice as big as computer billionaire Bill Gates' home. Well, now. And Christy guarantees you've never seen anything like it before. Take a look.
It's big. It's about 150,000 square feet.
The lawsuit alleges that when Nygaard became aware of the investigation into his sex trafficking ring, he resorted to tactics of violence, intimidation, bribery, and payoffs to attempt to silence the victims and to continue his scheme. The lawsuit goes on to allege that Nygaard kept a database of potential victims that was maintained by the Nygaard Companies Corporation Information Technology IT Department on the corporate server, mostly maintained in the United States. By the mid-2000s, this database was confirmed to have contained information on over 2,500 underage girls and women.
Bush.
Adding to the intrigue of this case, the complaint goes on to explain that Nygaard's head of IT, Dane Clifford, died suddenly just a few months ago, just a few weeks after the New York Times was known to be investigating the story, at the age of 44. The accusations surrounding Nygaard and his Pamper Party Island draw striking similarities to allegations of sex trafficking conducted by Jeffrey Epstein at his pedophile island, prompting many to ask if this disgraced women's fashion mogul is the Canadian Epstein. With revelations of yet another Epstein-style sex trafficking network unfolding, of course, inquiring minds are led to wonder how many more Epsteins are out there.
Stem cell technology that Peter and I are investing in is called SCNT, which takes the egg of a young, perfect woman specimen, takes the egg and takes out the nucleus and puts our DNA in the nucleus. They just go in and take it out. A4? Huh? And this is part of this genetic greatness that we don't see in any other race on the planet. These curvy, sexy black women from Africa. You girls have a kind of a monopoly on this genetic perfection, and we want some of that. So, girls, for $100, we will pay you for your egg.
I pay you $100?
So how much do you want for it? Let's bid. I bid $500. You know, whatever I bid, he's gonna outbid me. That's wonderful. $60,000 for the eggs. Yeah. If you have abortion, that's very valuable. Umbilical cord, you know, and placenta, even your period blood.
You realize they're right next to the devil.
We regard it as waste, and it actually should be. It should be captured.
You can't pick up that fear that they're seeing in their face right there. You're in the wrong place right there, honey.
It's like for mankind. The best eggs are 16 to 18 years old. Those are the best eggs. As you get older, your eggs get weaker.
Yeah, that's thinking.
So you may not be our candidate.
No, that's fine. I think that was my business anyway.
A sentencing hearing is beginning today in Toronto for Peter Nygaard.
The former fashion mogul was found guilty of 4 counts of sexual assault last fall. CTV's Scott Lightfoot is live outside the University Avenue Courthouse with more details. Scott.
Well, Nathan, it was a very emotional morning here in court. Court heard from 3 of Peter Nygaard's victims this morning with victim impact statements, along with a statement from one of the victims' mothers. Now, the former fashion mogul has been in custody for over 2 years now. He arrived in a prisoner transport van this morning. Last fall, he was found guilty by a jury, as you mentioned, on 4 counts of sexual assault. This morning, one of the victims said the actions of Nygaard have tainted their life in a debilitating way, and several of the women described panic attacks, ruined self-esteem, and thoughts of suicide since the incidents. Several of the victims also talked about how difficult testifying and coming forward in court has been, one of them saying that testifying in court was as horrendous of an experience as the assault was. This morning, the Crown asked the judge to sentence Nygaard to 15 years in jail. They say at his age, which is 83, with declining health and the fact he still has criminal proceedings to go in Manitoba, Quebec, and the U.S., there is little chance he will ever reoffend, and also little chance he could ever be rehabilitated.
Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell for more must-see videos.
Nygaard, dude, he's in prison, but he'll probably die in prison. But, you know, he was sucking blood out of babies and placentas and periods and all that stuff so he would not age. You know, that's what that was about, right?
Oh, yeah, he's a fucking vampire.
Genochrome and all that kind of crazy shit. It's like, it's you see the look on them girls? They're like, oh
Fear.
my God, what in the hell? So can you imagine you're going, you know, because they're like, oh yeah, there's they're looking for fashion models to, you know, for this clothing line. Yep. And you guys are, you know, these pretty black models. We're gonna go up to this guy and he's gonna, you know, interview you for a job, you know, blah blah blah. And then he starts talking about, you know, taking your placenta and you know, sucking your blood. It's just like you're like, oh my God, I'm the devil. This is the devil in my face.
Did you see just their face? They're just like,
the one
if you've seen a woman cower, that's the look. That's a crazy, yeah, dude. So you're like in the presence of absolute evil right there, and they realized it. They're lucky to get that they could be out. I mean, who knows? That's crazy, dude. But they all, you know what's crazy, dude, is they all have the same look. The Jeffrey Epstein, the Bill Gates.
Yeah, they look
the whatever the fuck that guy's Nygaard. They all looked at just blank. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's just it's a soulless. I don't know, man. Sad. There's pure evil in the world, man.
So before we get to the Jeffrey Epstein where he's at, let's cover this. Let's cover this. I don't really know the best way to put this, but Epstein was literally ripping babies out of mothers' stomachs to get the babies. It's sick. Check it out. Let me get this. Let me get this queued up here. Hold on a second.
Articles here where they are talking about ripping babies out of some of the victims at Zorro Ranch. Spoke of this going on at Zorro Ranch. She has said on record that Epstein offered her money to do this, birth babies for black market use.
And then you got Epstein saying about women at Zorro Ranch surrogates.
Yes.
I mean, it's just incredible.
This is from the New York Post yesterday. Teen Epstein accuser wrote she was used as a human incubator for a secret baby who was snatched at birth. So very much like Peter Nygaard, where he's probably selecting exact races with certain genetic qualities that he wants to breed with.
He says that.
He's finding underage ones and impregnating them. And then they do the cesarean on purpose because they believe that the cesarean operation actually gives them a higher form of intelligence. I know that Elon Musk has talked about this. You know, he wants all his kids to be cesarean birth, that gives them a special boost in IQ when you have a cesarean section. So that's directly in what this operation here. And now they're saying that he's had several kids. Sarah Ferguson in these emails congratulates Jeffrey Epstein on his baby boy in newly released documents. So before,
I remember a decade ago, we learned limited hangout. Oh, he wanted to have hundreds of children. No. And I said, no, he did it.
But on record, were any kin of his known before this? There's no heir to the Epstein dynasty. I mean, this is just...
It turned out after he died, supposedly, tens of billions was sucked out of all these accounts.
Right, with some accounts still being active with one of these women. So one of these women that he birthed a child to actually has control of his estate. So the bloodline continues on.
This is Epstein, and they're having the confidential Jeffrey Epstein talking about. We'll tell about this. Talking about dead bodies of dead girls buried at Zorro Ranch.
Yeah, so it says it's from Eddie Aragon. Looks like this was a confidential tip, maybe potentially sent to an investigator, FBI, or someone in the DOJ. The date is the 25th of November, 2019. So this is after Epstein is dead. Well, it's actually written to somebody named Edward. So it says, Edward, this is sensitive, so it will be the first and last email depending on your discretion. You can choose to take it or trash it, but this comes from a person that has been there and seen it all as a former staff at the Zorro. The material below was taken from Jeffrey Epstein at home as my insurance in case of future litigation against Epstein. Sorry, no questions. What is damning about Jeffrey Epstein is yet to be written. Did you know somewhere in the hills outside the Zorro, 2 foreign girls were buried on orders of Jeffrey and Madam G. Both died by strangulation during rough fetish sex. And then he links videos of child pornography. Here it says sex with minor, underage girl sex, underage girl rape, suicide attempt.
And we're taking this is video of this happening.
Yes, this is allegedly someone who got out of Zorro Ranch that was able to obtain some of these.
And the FBI said in reports that are public, there were houses full of hard drives.
Yes, and they're asking for Bitcoin here to get these videos. It says, please arrange for 1 Bitcoin by 6 p.m. today to this wallet to obtain the damning child pornography. So I'm not sure who this was from or to. It says from Eddie Aragon, but then it says, if you read it, it's to Edward. So it's a little bit kind of confusing to me of who this was sent to and if someone actually did receive the child pornography.
And this thing can be bull too. The point is, we have all this other data. We know what's generally true, what's not. This was industrial level evil.
And Zorro Ranch is out there, in close to a lot of military facilities with underground tunnels, and so the infrastructure there to build these facilities is ideal because that's what the government does. They're out there in the desert. They have the perfect setup to be able to build this kind of facility and keep it hidden from everyone.
Energy shots.
It's crazy. That's fucking wild, huh?
Yeah. Sad,
so
dude.
they're getting these girls, young girls, getting them pregnant, and then waiting until they're, just about ready to have the baby, and then they're taking the babies out and putting them on the black market, or waiting for a term and then taking the babies from the girl. Probably got them hopped up on who knows what kind of, dope or whatever. And then, this is one side of it. This is only one side. This is the sex trafficking, which is $1 billion operation. Sure.
Yeah.
But the bigger thing is the financial stuff that we're going to get to here shortly. But, what if I told you that Epstein was alive? What would you say?
After seeing what we saw at the beginning, before the show, like I said, I won't. Once we go and see the clips, makes sense. It makes more sense than the actual story that was given. That bullshit story.
Oh, the one where he hung himself with the
yeah, and there's no camera.
The cameras are all dead.
All cameras were gone, and the people were asleep.
And the guard said the day before that they hauled him out in a wheelchair the day before, and military, two people in military garb took him out the night before. Yeah, that's just a coincidence, I'm sure. He was probably just going doctor, middle of the night. Let's we got 1, 2, 3. We're gonna do this. Try and do this as quick as we can. Wait a minute. Do you want to do it? No, let's just do it. Stand by.
You know how I know he's alive? I mean, I said that he was alive back when the videos from the cell or outside of the cell had surfaced. Like, it was just obvious to me that they snuck him out. You don't amass this kind of power without being able to use it to get yourself out of jail. And after he died, there was a $50 million transfer from one of his accounts to another one of his accounts that was then immediately emptied. But aside from that, there's 2 photos of his face immediately after they recovered his body, allegedly. He's still wearing his little weighted vest thing. Immediately, I see this face and I see animation still, right? He still looks animated. There's almost a smirk there. It looks like he's trying to close his eyes, and his mouth is closed. I have seen many, many, many autopsy photos. Jaws are almost always slack. I've seen dead and dying bodies. Jaws are always slack. You lose muscle tone immediately when you die. There's nothing holding the tension in your muscles. So for his mouth to be closed is an anomaly, okay? Someone's going to say rigor mortis. Well, typically with rigor mortis, the body will freeze in the position it's already in. So if the jaw was slack, it would remain slack. It could tense up, but this is a closed mouth. This is an intentionally closed mouth. But this is what sealed it for me. He's definitely not in rigor mortis because they lift up his chin to show you, I guess, ligature marks, but I don't see it. It just looks like a crease. I don't know. And again, he looks like he's grinning here, and his eyes look like he's trying. His eyes look different in this picture than in this picture. He's squinting a little bit harder here. But anyway, they wouldn't be able to lift up his neck. There's all muscles here too. If he was in rigor mortis, his jaw would be closed, but his neck would also be stiff. They're able to flop his neck around, then his jaw would also be open. Tell me that that face does not look animated. If you've ever seen a dead body, you know that that's not the face of a dead person. And I said, you don't amass this kind of power and wealth to not be able to get yourself out of Dodge, right? But also, Whoever put him in this position did not invest that much into this asset to make this asset as valuable as it is, to just let it get taken out. By who? We know who would want to. Orange. And also, one more thing. I have seen the litigation that ensued after his first arrest, the whole Palm Beach thing, okay? This is not a guy who hangs himself in shame. He sued the lawyer for the victims who sued him. He personally sued the lawyer, something Edwards, for coming after him. That is not a man who has any fucking shame. That is not a guy who's not going down swinging. You think that he wasn't going to defend himself? You think that he was just like, oh, they've just got me on too much now. Let me just end it. Okay. They really just count on people being that stupid. If you understand humanity on any fucking level, you know that this guy is having a ball posing for this photo. You know that this guy is in another country right now. I mean, maybe he's back. I've heard of sightings of him here in Palm Beach, actually. And he's got his big pile of money and he's doing what he does. It hasn't stopped. It never stopped. And if you watched any parts of like the Bannon interviews with him that were just released, that paired with some of the emails where he's plotting and he's like scheming and philosophizing, and the litigation when he sued that lawyer, it's very clear that this guy thinks that he's going to live forever. And I mean that in a very real way, okay? He views life as a game to be won, all right? And he's winning. But also, there was something he said in the Bannon interview that was something like, he doesn't believe that there's like an afterlife or anything like that. Your body dies, but the spirit can go into another body. And I don't think he's talking about like reincarnation. I think he's talking about like his consciousness as it is now can be transplanted into another body. And that made me also think of how all of these tech billionaires are running their lives. I think that they all believe the same thing. They are working towards a future that, I mean, it explains why they all need unlimited fucking wealth. They need to amass and hoard as much money as possible because they don't plan to leave. They believe that their consciousness is going to continue and be transplanted, and they're going to pick up right where they left off. So no, I don't think that he killed himself. It's a joke. He's clearly not dead here. He plans to live forever. And this is not a guy who had shame. Shame, people die or kill themselves from shame or from fear of consequences, let's say. This guy didn't have fear of consequences. He sued the lawyer who represented victims. That is zero fucking remorse, shame, or fear. Anyway, that's an alive face.
So I think we're all in agreement that Jeffrey didn't kill himself, and now with the new file dump, I think it's pretty fucking obvious that he ain't even fucking dead. But I think you can take this one step further, and I think this thing was all orchestrated from the get-go, from his arrest, with the whole plan to fucking fake his death. I've just been listening to people fucking go through all these emails, and I'm just kind of putting together the pieces in my head today while I was working. And there's an email out there where Jeffrey Epstein's talking to somebody about he could get a pardon from Obama for his first arrest and conviction, right? But those were state charges, and Jeffrey Epstein's all pissed off. He's like, Obama's willing to give me a pardon, but that'd be a federal pardon, and that doesn't cover fucking state charges. He's like, I would have to get a pardon from the governor of fucking Florida, and he's like, that shit ain't in the cards. So then he fucking hooks up with Steve Bannon, and Steve Bannon's whole fucking thing there, and they're back and forth, is Steve Bannon is attempting to rehabilitate Jeffrey Epstein's image. That's what he's doing there. Steve Bannon, you're a piece of shit, for fucking trying to rehabilitate a pedo's image. The fuck, dude? Like, you're a slime ball, obviously, so fuck you. But this is what Jeffrey was trying to do. He was trying to get out from under more investigations, more eyes. He wanted out of that shit, right? So it becomes clear to Jeffrey, like, he can't rehabilitate his image. He can't get a fucking pardon. What's the next easiest way out? You fucking fake your death. And everything was lined up for this under Trump, right? Because Epstein had fucking Bill Barr, fucking Maxwell's buddy, right there in the AG slot to help cover it up at the fucking federal end. They had Jews in charge of every fucking thing the whole way down the line. The fucking coroner, the person at the fucking state penitentiary, right? And even now that 4chan leaked message of the guard saying that Epstein, and that was posted the day before Epstein was killed on 4chan, that this guard is saying they wheeled him out of there on a wheelchair. His buddy, the guard tower, saw them put Epstein into a van with dudes in green military fatigues. I think this whole thing, I think his second arrest was totally with the whole plan to fucking fake his death so that he would be out from under the fucking scrutiny, so that nobody would be looking for him anymore. Nobody would be fucking with him. Jeffrey Epstein's estate has fucking like had hundreds of millions of dollars still moving through it ever since his death. That motherfucker, because it's a fucking estate or trust or whatever, like people can still see that fucking account and it just goes hundreds of millions of dollars in and out of that motherfucker. That motherfucker is still alive. And like the only what else would he need to be still alive, right? If only there was a country that had a law about protecting pedophiles and no extradition. Oh, what country? Oh, that's right, it's Israel. Imagine that shit, dude. No one will convince me that Jeffrey Epstein is not a fucking lie as well. This whole thing was a fucking plan from the get-go. And even the files and the way they're redacting them and not redacting other shit, like this is a forced information fucking plug. Like they are purposely shitting on Bill Gates and other people and protecting others. Like that's totally what's going on here. Like people are getting thrown under the fucking bus and fed to the wolves, like because we're all screaming for accountability. And somehow, somewhere, fucking Bill Gates has pissed some fucking people off, probably from being just a little fucking skeevy slime ball, being a douchebag, and they're like, you know what? Fuck Bill Gates. Fucking burn his ass at the stake. It has to be something like that, because why do some people get redacted out, but Bill Gates gets thrown underneath the pedo bus? Think about that shit. Think about that shit. This is going to be a wild 2026 because the information in there and the stuff they kind of fucking messed up and missed out, like there's some shit to be learned here, and it's fucking epic. So prepare yourselves to learn some shit. It's not always going to be, if the truth hurts. And the more it hurts, the more you're like, that's some good fucking truth there. So good luck to you all. Long live this beautiful republic.
Yeah, so that's pretty spot on to me. And it takes me back to something else. I was going to say it. I haven't said it before. Maybe I have. Probably not. Charlie Kirk. I don't know why Charlie Kirk why they would kill him or pretend to kill him or whatever. But the way it doesn't make sense, the way it doesn't fit, the way it doesn't sound right, the way people are acting all weird and all this stuff. And maybe I'm just conspiracy theorist or something, but it fits this mold. I don't know why though. Was it because Israel was going to kill him, so he got out, or was it? I mean, I don't know. I have no idea, because he was saying days before, and I know I'm going off the wrong road here, but he was saying the day before that they were going to kill him. So maybe not. Maybe I'm just thinking.
It doesn't add up. I'll say that.
Yeah, it don't make sense. So,
but that really didn't make sense.
Yeah,
I knew that was a bullshit story. Are you telling me the place is locked down?
Well,
there's a minute missing on every day.
It ended up being 3 minutes or something.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then the cameras weren't working, and then this wasn't, and the guards were asleep. Come on, man. Shit, that's too. It's too.
I heard.
It's too complex.
I heard one article that was written that they put some sleeping gas in the ventilation system, so it made him go to sleep. I heard that too, and that's just conspiracy theory. But I mean, none of it makes sense. Listen, when you got that kind of money and that kind of juice, that kind of power, and everybody's backing you up because they're all in on it, the sky's the limit. I mean, the truth is the sky's the fucking limit. But we're not dead. We're not dead. Before we get into the CIA part of this, check this out.
This is a little bit off topic, but I just wanted to bring up that I never thought he killed himself or died in general since it first broke. I immediately thought that they broke him out of prison. And
well, let's stop there. Yeah. It's not off topic. That's a huge stack. Let's go to that now, because now Congress is looking at this. This is coming out. Let's get the document cam over here, please. Pull up the HD shots in there for everybody. And let's start talking about this. And let's pull out a little bit there. There we go. That's nice. That's off our printer, but let's pull up the HD of all this. He has this tattoo here, but when he's dead outside the federal facility 5 years ago in D.C. or in New York, we don't see the tattoo. And then now we have somebody that looks just like him that's related to Hillary Rodham Clinton, who died right before this, who matches with the ears, the rest of it. Let's go over it now.
So in the DOJ Epstein files, he is known to have a tattoo. This body right here that just came out, the new pre-autopsy photos.
Yeah, scroll up, guys. I can see the arm.
He has no tattoo on his arm. And I don't see a scar there that shows that it was removed. And his face, I mean, I know he allegedly hung himself.
Let's just start over. You never believed from the start. You can see the garrote line there. But again, that's the same arm. And you do not see the tattoo. And we have more photos. We have photos of him being brought outside where they didn't put a sheet over him when he's dead. They don't normally do that. And that famous photo. So to walk through this, what people are saying is that he's alive.
Yes. So Thomas Massey is on it. He says, here's a pic of his tattoo in the Epstein files, replying to Patrick Byrne, who Patrick Byrne called this out. Thomas Massey did a little poll. Most people say he is still alive. So majority of people believe Epstein is still alive. It's not that someone else killed him or did he kill himself. No, he didn't die. There's video of someone that looks like him with the drone that was flown over his island in 2023. And there's a man that looks just like him hopping out of a ATV and looks like he's still alive and is back on his island. So who knows where he is right now, but I don't think he's dead. And
but regardless, he had this tattoo and all these photos and stuff on record. He doesn't, when he's brought out of the ambulance, supposedly killed himself at the federal facility. And in these other photos, he doesn't have the tattoo.
And his earlobe is different. The whole design of his ear does not match up at all from the dead body.
And we got side-by-sides of those we can show.
And so there's someone that looks like him on the island in 2023. Who the hell's that? And what's he doing on the island? And why does he look so similar to Jeffrey Epstein?
The same clothing, same.
That looks like something he'd wear. Looks like he's giving that guy orders on what to do on the island too. He's pointing at him, telling him where to go and work. And so, I mean,
you guys pull up the ears. You showed it last hour. The side-by-side ears, who then match somebody else that just died right before he died.
Tony Rodham, Hillary Clinton's brother, died in June. So that's what, 2 months before? They could have cryogenically froze him, maybe even just kept his body fine in a regular freezer. I'm not sure. I'm not too well versed on how quick a body can decompose when it's in a freezer, but man, that nose sure looks like his nose, doesn't it? Look at that ear. And we're supposed to believe that he's dead. I mean, this is insane. And obviously,
and there's other shots with supposedly Epstein on the stretcher next to other. And if you look, yeah,
they say never let a good crisis go to waste. So her brother's dead. Oh well, I got an idea. He looks a little bit like Jeffy.
And we know the CIA's experts at fake mask, also plastic surgery. But you look at the ear of Hillary Clinton's brother, it's the same ear. You pull that up, it's uncanny. Wow.
So I think we really got something here, and Thomas Massey's calling out, Patrick Byrne is calling out. I'm glad finally people are getting over the who killed Epstein. It's now Epstein is alive. Where is he?
You've always thought that.
I always thought that since day one. I said there is.
By the way, let's get Patrick Byrne on tomorrow, and it's not just my show. Let's get him on the War Room. He comes on all the shows. Let's get him on with the morning show, Brianna. Let's get him on tomorrow.
Why would they kill him when they could do this? He's too valuable to everyone. He has too many his hands in too many things.
And that's why all the cameras are turned off.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's a national security issue.
I believe he's in witness protection. And if he's involved in multiple intelligence agencies,
we know that.
Yeah. So, get my train of thought here. Yeah. So they will tell you any fucking thing, and your job is to fucking believe it. And my question, the fucking $1 million, $1 billion, $1 trillion question: does Trump know Epstein's alive? And that is why he held back on the Epstein files for a certain time, for a certain moment, for a certain reason, because it couldn't come out until it was the right time because of who knows what.
Yeah, I believe so.
You know what I mean? And
he never, everything he does in that type thing is strategic.
Oh yeah, for sure. 5D chess.
Yeah.
So another thing that I've been reading, that he had something to do with QAnon. You know, the Q thing, keyboard, all that stuff.
Well, I've heard of it. I never got into it.
I never got into it, but I've, and another few things that I've heard about this is very interesting because it makes it very different for the Democrats, for the Rhino Republicans, for the lawyers that fucking spent so much time at that island, and all the people. It changes everything for the people that aren't in.
Yeah.
Bill Gates, what's his name? Edward Barack, whatever. Different people like that. People that they're throwing under the bus, because if he's in witness protection, because
he can't
of
be found
this.
out if he's in protection.
Yeah,
because that would bring even everything at more.
Well, then that means he's witnessing something. He's witnessed something.
Yeah,
that's the thing. And we have so much. Listen, we have so many things going on right now. It's like a twilight zone. Yeah. And I've said it over and over and over. We're in a twilight zone. Woke up one day, and it was it's like, what the fuck is going on around here? And nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
When you know somebody, you know how they talk about people's gait, or the way they walk a certain way, and you can't really hide your walk. And even if you try really hard, you still have that certain gait. Well, I'm looking at all these different things, lots of them, like Bongino, prime example. Cash Patel, what the fuck's her name? What's her name?
And Blondie?
No, the other one, the other Blondie. Fox News host used to be.
Megyn
Kelly.
Megyn Kelly.
What she said. What Erica Kirk keeps saying. What Candace Owens is saying. What the Black Pillars are saying. what Alex Jones is saying, what all these different people are saying, all these narratives, man, and they all none of them fit. None of them make sense. And I'm not saying like Alex Jones or Candace Owens or whatever is involved in it, but it sure does make a lot of sense for these different things if what they're doing is a psyop, a fucking psyop. Just why? Don't know. Don't know why there's a psyop.
It wouldn't be the first one that we've been thrown in.
We've been in a psyop our whole life.
Yeah.
They told
But
us
recently the biggest one was the COVID.
Yeah, they told us that fluoride was good for you. Yeah. And they told us that getting our kids vaccinated was good for them. Saved their life. They've told us that wheat was good for you. They told just so many things that they fucking lied. They just lied.
Yeah.
Right? Over and over and over. Oh, we got to get rid of all petroleum because it's going to kill the earth. We're gonna sink into the ocean. All these things they've told us, just nonstop. Our whole life's just garbage. It's just garbage. It's slop, right? It's just slop. And so this one here, this is like we got the finger on this one. This one, I don't see. Will we ever know the truth? Probably not. But we know. How's Candace say? You don't know, but you know, or some bullshit like that. You don't know what you know.
Yeah.
But it's like, and there's more. I still have more on this, but I'm just trying to put this together for the people that are right now yelling into their phone or their computer going, you guys are fucking crazy. We're showing you, I do this. I do my best to strategically put this in a way to where I don't just drop it on you, but you can see the progression of it all as we go throughout the night to break this down to where it's fucking easy for even somebody dumb like me to figure it out. I'm a little dumb. And if you can't see it, I don't know what to say because I see things now that it just didn't ever make sense to me, and it still doesn't make sense. But I will say this: I did not know that cesarean babies are smarter. I didn't realize it, but remember, I have a 7-year-old that when he was 5, we had him tested, and he had a 129 IQ, and he was reading 10th grade reading and comprehension at 5. He does. He goes to school, and he's in first or second grade. He's second grade, and he's like leaves the classroom to go play in the bathroom or something because they're teaching him plus and minus. And he's like, they're trying to teach me 4 plus 6, and I'm doing division, Dad. Come on, I'm bored. He talks like that too. And so I didn't know that. Now I know. Now it makes sense because my son was cesarean. So if we would have known that growing up, we probably all of our kids would have been born cesarean. You would think, right?
Yeah.
Because we want our kids to be as smart as possible, right? It's just the way. Anyway, all right. So I'm on a tilt here. Let's see. Oh, I got one more. No, yeah. Okay. You know what else I want to say? This is for the haters. I listen to people every fucking day talk about Alex Jones is a Fed, Alex Jones is a this or that, he sold out, all this stuff. And how come InfoWars is the only one doing deep dives on this stuff? It's like InfoWars and like Ian Carroll. It's like, why is not everybody turning this upside down? And maybe I haven't seen it, but it's like you would think that he would get more credit for that almost 32 years doing this than he gets. because I mean, think about
when Asmund Gold says that he did something. That's when you know people are turning, because the dude does video game
Asmund Gold
casts. Asmund Gold was like,
oh, he's like a streamer, like
he's a gamer. That's what he is. And now when he says Alex Jones is right, Alex Jones has been right a whole lot more than he's been wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
And he is way ahead of the curve.
Yeah. And I'm going to prove it.
Yeah.
Right now, in a minute. Let's see. Where am I going to start? Get my bearings together. Okay. Patrick Burns is going to break it down for us right now.
How it happened, where Trump's going, how big is this? The Bill Gates stuff, his wife saying he deserves to be arrested. Let's move on from the Jews, please, God. I don't mind covering it, son of a Jesus.
Fucking Jews!
Generally, what's the lay of the land now?
Well, I think that there's going to be unbelievable. There's still more. I mean, they say they're not going to release anymore. They put it this way: this was the clean half. What the release was the clean half. There's another 3 million that they haven't. What do you think? What do you think would be in that if they release?
By the way,
that?
put this up front of the interview. I agree. I forgot. Yeah, halves held back. What's in there, Patrick?
Yeah, I bet it's worse than whatever we've seen so far because they won't release it. I think that says, well, you're already seeing bankers, some CEOs, and people have had to step back.
Lord, a bunch of them are resigning. Lords are resigning.
J.P. Morgan was the financier for all this stuff. They had to have known what was going on. Disney had, Disney, its cruise ship stopped in his island at his lagoon. There's no evidence. I don't know of any
kids. A kid's cruise did thousands of times. So start over. Exactly. What is the fallout of this?
Well, the fallout, they're clearly forced at work trying to snuff it. Who knows where it goes? It does not go to Trump. It really doesn't. If it went to Trump, it would have. You don't think Biden would release that? Doesn't go. I think you've seen the worst of it for Trump, and you're going to see a lot worse for other Democrats.
I agree. So how dumb now the Democrats, through the victims quote, want all the files pulled, and Democrats are trying to ask judges. That's in the news, but doesn't get coverage. How damning is that suddenly, what did they think was going to happen? They wanted it released. Now they want to pull back.
They're like Wile E. Coyote, who always has these smart aleck plans to get the Roadrunner, and the Roadrunner always does something simple, and the complicated plan blows up. The Acme Dynamite blows up on Wile E. Coyote. The Democrats have this long history of doing that of being Wile E. Coyote.
No, I agree. So from your intel, Venezuela, Trump, big picture, Russia, what's happening?
Well, I think I wanted to avoid war with Iran. Trump came out and told them to stand up, and we would back their play. He can't sail away from that. That is disgraceful on a historic scale to the United States. If hundreds of thousands of people, close to 100,000 people have been killed already.
No, as sure as he said, we'll back you, I knew we were committed then.
And of course, Israel wants him committed. Israel wants him, right? That's the Democrats. That's their plans on releasing the Epstein files right there. It's working about, we're just at the splat moment. I think that there's going to be, they're not going to be able to stop the repercussions. There's already talk they're not going to release the rest. Do you think Congress is going to sit still for that? Well, maybe they will now that they've learned what the good half contains. They probably are scared to death of the bad half coming out. I think it's. What do you think? Where do you think this is going to go, Alex?
Well, I knew Trump wasn't involved. They'd already used it. Plus, I knew all the sources. So then why Trump got convinced not to? They said national security. I say Trump just does his own expose, brings it out, does PowerPoints, exposes it all, goes to full war with it. But he keeps wanting to make deals for stability. The problem is they don't want stability. So give them what they want. Give them total war.
Although he could be at the moment, it's conceivable. I don't have any evidence that it is, but it's conceivable he's using it to blackmail some people.
Well, I said that over a year ago before he got in. I said two paths. He blasts them with it and uses it, or he blackmails them with it. And I said, don't do the blackmail because they can do it back the other way, even though it's not true. I said, justice be done, may the heavens fall.
Yeah, when I first went out to see Warren Buffett in the summer of 2019 and started explaining about my life and what I was part of and told him the story about robbing Hillary and all that stuff, he jumped up and he paced for 20 seconds. And he said, well, the analysis is the truth has to come out someday, that this can't be another grassy knoll for decades. The truth has to come out someday. And given that it has to come out someday, the sooner that it comes out, the better, because then we can excavate, we can start moving forward as a nation. And I would give that same advice. You can't contain the truth. The truth has its own way. Whatever's in the rest of that stuff, just let it out as well.
No, I agree. Pull the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, pull the Band-Aid off. Maybe say, Trump could say, look, if we keep the House and the Senate, I'll release the rest of it in one more year. Give the public time to digest the first half.
No, I agree. But the Democrats are so dumb, they'll surge back and say, release it. Like the point is, there's no even control within their corruption, which I'm not endorsing, but there's nothing worse than a corruption that isn't even under control.
Yeah, the Democrats, I think it's 90% Democrat, 10% Republican. There's Republicans all mixed up in this too.
Yeah, but I agree with you. It's just like Doge found 93% of the frauds Democrats, but yeah, 10% Republicans. Then fry them all.
Yeah, I think, well, that's why just think of the political implications of this in the grand scale. Now that we know what the truth is, or now that your viewers knew what the truth is.
Yeah, so how to respond to that? If I don't think that'll work. Holding back, no. You need to let it out. You need to let it all out. Let everybody digest all of it and get to the other side of it. That's the only way this country can move forward, especially with the amount of corruption that this has caused. And I'm going to show you right now. I have this clip. I meant to play it right now and not the one I just played, but since we played that, we'll go ahead and go with it. But like, there's something about the corruption is because of the Jeffrey Epstein, the Nygaards, the Bill Gates, all these corrupt politicians, all these corrupt globalists, and what the fuck is his name, Harari, and all the Charles, what's his name, Klaus Schwab, all these corrupt these people, evil Soros, all these people, they're all in this corruption, and it's against us. It's not against their own people. They're not against like billionaires. They're against the people that ain't got that that have to literally fight back, or else we're doomed, right? So, but this I meant to play this clip before that, but I wanted to have Patrick Burns break down the way the CIA operates, because all this is a CIA operation. It's all a coup. It's all a CIA operation, especially the part where we start talking about financial markets and the kids and the gangs and the prison system and all these different things that we've seen our whole life. All these things, all COVID. I mean, all these things, it all goes back to Central Intelligence. All of it. My opinion. I don't know everything, but I think so. Stand by.
Why don't I give you some context? And the problem is when you give context to anything, people think you're apologizing for it. Of course, I'm not apologizing for it. Let me tell you what really went on. I've explained to you before. I actually, a few months before, I knew all about Jeffrey Epstein. Anyone who reads Zero Hedge, which is the Wall Street hedge fund community, reads
No,
this
that's
website.
not Bob. You were part of a plan to go kill him.
Well, that came 10 years later. I was aware of him since 2009. All the documents when he got prosecuted in Miami, they were all available. Everybody in the hedge fund community knew it. In 2019, he reached out to me very hard in 2 fake setups where people crossed my path with big, strong, sort of all staged, but meant to be very innocent invitations, really demands I come out to Epstein Island. The name Rothschild was mentioned. They told me all about Jeffrey is
You
a
mean
much better guy.
Rothschild? He said, I'm a Rothschild representative.
The pitches made to me, someone flew with his wife all the way to Utah to try to talk me into it. Again, trying to act like it was very casual. And the pitches made emphasized, oh, don't believe what you say. He's friends with Bill Gates. He's friends with all these big shots. He's got the greatest trading room in the world. He trades trillions of dollars. Everyone wants his thoughts on everything. He sits there all day taking calls from kings and princes and ambassadors and titans of it. And boy, Patrick, he really wants to get to know you. Well, I knew it was a setup, and I put my Marshall Scholar, Cambridge University master's in ethics to work and decided the morally right thing to do was to go out and murder him. But then I found that he had cameras everywhere. It was all, but everyone knew it was all about a blackmail thing. So, but let me explain in a greater context. Jeffrey Epstein. So I had that interaction, and then a year later, they offered to set me up as Epstein 2.0. And I knew they were trying to compromise me and all kinds of stuff. I said, no. But I'll give you a bit. So I know what I'm talking about. Would you like, I can give some context. I've been sort of keeping this back because it's, we have a lot of other.
Now's the time to dump it.
Here's the context. In the world of espionage, it isn't like the movies where the CIA agents or the Mossad agents are the guys somersaulting through glass windows and stuff. That's kind of the movies. In reality, those are the agents, and then there are these assets. And the assets are the people out in the world. And it's not the case that the assets are all a bunch of Boy Scouts. In fact, there are assets out in the world who might be money launderers, who might be dope runners, or they might be gun runners, or they might be. So there's all kinds of people out in the world, and the intelligence services can't do their job if they limit themselves to Boy Scouts. The people who are the agents are supposed to be Boy Scouts, but they're Boy Scouts who've been kind of learned how to interact. Somebody put it to me once. We want them to be sort of folks who were, Boy Scouts, but have been in bar fights and are real smart. And they are real smart. This guy, Alphabet Gary Burnson, that I worked with, very smart guys, very smart. You never meet a dumb one. But they use people like this. So in a sense, I don't want to so when we're reading about all this stuff that he was out there in the world of who he was hobnobbing with and the kinds of deals and arms and stuff, that's kind of his job. It was explained to me when it was offered to replace that this was the origin story of Epstein. And might as well, you'll get it, that he had that aspect to him. And now the U.S. does not use Red Sparrows. We really do not. The U.S. does not use that technique. But
explain that. It means sex operatives.
Sex operatives. We really don't. And in fact, one is cautioned as one is tasked to do different things overseas. If you sleep with girls, you sleep with girls, but no American women. You can't use any American girls to achieve your objectives.
And why do you think that became policy?
That's just sort of, I think that's been longstanding doctrine. That's just.
But you were used as a sex operative to infiltrate the Russians.
Well, yeah. Well,
But a willing participant.
They told me that, and 3 agents told me, and I believe that was the first time in their careers they'd ever heard of that kind of a request being made here. It was odd. So all that said,
but you took one for the team with a hot Russian.
Yeah, Maria is a fantastic. You're going to see her be president of Russia someday, I think. Anyway, so that's the origin story of Epstein. And so to some degree it's legitimate. And what happened was Mossad uses Red Sparrows. The U.S. doesn't. And the U.S. kind of gave umbrella permission for, it was described to me, Patrick, Epstein was billed as an operation to manufacture Red Sparrows. That was the language that was used. These spooks always talk in like spooks. That's how they talk. So what does that?
Epstein at one level wasn't just money laundering or secret airlines. It was also a Red Sparrow manufacturing facility.
Yes, that's what he. And what does that mean in spook worlds? When a guy says, "Well, that guy's he's been set up to his operation is to manufacture Red Sparrows," what does that mean?
Well, he complained. He said, "I got to have sex with 20 women a day to supply enough of these."
That means he's supposed to be out there in the world as the playboy, trolling and finding the girls, or having women who do that for him. Now, as I say, this is not something the U.S. has ever done, but Mossad needed to do it in the West, and that's how it's set up. Then Jeffrey Epstein stepped over the line on his own, even though he was chastised for when he went underage. He was never supposed to do that. And that's how this started. But as Lord Acton said, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
that's crazy.
That is how it works.
Power, yeah.
Right? So that's how it works. And so you have all these different levels of spooks. Some of them just do little things, some do big things. And that's what we have here with this Jeffrey Epstein character, because it's more than just the sex trafficking. That was just one little piece of it to entice people to participate with him, you know.
Well, I mean, Ghislaine Maxwell's dad. I said,
Mossad.
Yeah.
No.
So
we're running really late. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to do this one right here, because I promised this. I'm gonna do another show tomorrow night because there's just so much left to do, and I want to make sure that I don't miss nothing. So we'll do the financial markets tomorrow, and because I just can't fit it all, and because we have to get to this. We have to get to this. I mean, this is a must. Let's see here. Yeah, we have to do this one. So this is key intel about what's going on with the war and with China and Iran and all that stuff. We have to cover that. So let's cover that right now. Pete Santelli was on Alex's show the other day, and he kind of took his mask off a little bit and exposed what the plan is that's going on in the Trump administration with this war stuff that we were supposed to not be in. We're supposed to be peace through strength, and the peace through strength is turned into us bombing Iran any minute. And China is on our doorstep. So it's at least a 2-front war, but it's probably like a 7 or 8 front war. We'll let them explain it to us. We'll be right back. Okay, or not? Let's see.
What is the deep state going to do now? This is coming out. They're very dangerous right now.
Yeah, and I think that's why everyone's being vague. And Tulsi Gabbard's like, well, I can't tell you what's going on. We know what I think you and I know what Tulsi Gabbard has as to the report about the Venezuela whistleblowers.
Oh, I talked to folks that were in the White House meeting 3 months ago, and I told you in January, which happened, Trump's going to start bringing out the Venezuela, Georgia, Arizona, all of it. And then it happened. I mean, they have it.
I'm just speculating as to how they operate, and I'm sure you've had access to law enforcement, like in narcotics. They let it play out a little bit. They want to listen. They want to. They don't want to get the street corner drug dealer. They want to get El Chapo. So they need to see the lines of cash, the conspirators, so they can cast a broader net. I would bet $1 billion right now that the military has to be involved because it's that big. It's that corrupt. You're hearing Trump now saying that we need to federalize elections. That's a pretty significant statement because the system is that corrupt down to the county level. So I'm anticipating that, and I don't know if you've heard this intel, the Department of Energy at the highest levels, they control our nuclear arsenal, they protect our electric grid, that the Department of Energy, those military generals, basically had to take control because it was so out of control with foreign intrusion and stuff
Well, it's funny you say that. I'm not allowed to talk about it. I'm not allowed to talk about it. This is incredible. I'm not going to actually. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait.
You are.
I know for a fact that they have been. I know.
By the way, anything I'm mentioning here, I'm not mentioning anything I was told to keep confidential. I'm just connecting dots.
Well, I wasn't told to keep this confidential. I know from separate sources. Austin is a major industrial base. Yes. Probably the biggest, fastest growing in the country, other than like Tennessee or Florida.
Mm-hmm.
An order came down a month ago to get all the former military and to go to all the security companies and to stage them at Tesla and at power grids. So you'll just see trucks parked there. And the enemy already knows this, so might as well put it out. But that's how close we're to full war with China. They are now put security at all this critical infrastructure. They had to scale up with huge funds that they're doing through the corporations, but their corporations are funding, not just guarding their factories. And they're told, and they're given printouts, look for Chinese military-age men and Muslim military-age men and prepare to be hit. And so they've actually got people staging, and I'm not going to say with what, but let's say Overwatch. They got, let the enemy know, drones in the air, everything over critical infrastructure. That's how close we are right now, that everything's actually airborne right now. I'll go ahead and say it.
You're not only right over the target, but I can say this, I can confirm this. There is a completely separate internet, a dark fiber system that was put in place, continuity of government type stuff, that China is deeply embedded in our internet. Instead of changing cash and like going from a fiat currency to a digital currency, we're going to do the modern day equivalent of, as Colin Powell says, cut them off and kill them. They won't be able to communicate at all. That this new internet system, new power grid, will be activated to put China out of business.
At Tesla and other facilities, they got guys in pickup trucks with automatic weapons and grenade launchers and everything else for aircraft coming in, ready to be attacked by Chinese. I mean, that's how bad this is. Believe me, they ain't sticking people out there in trucks with all these weapons for no reason.
I think it's even bigger than just China. I think the revelations out of Venezuela, you got Cuba, you got
what I'm telling you is they literally have armed paramilitary at critical infrastructure, government and private, all over the country, with sophisticated weapons.
Yes, and we need to, and I think, just speculating here, that they're going to switch from that internet that they totally control. Newstar, have you ever heard of that company called Newstar? President Trump filed a RICO lawsuit in Florida. Now, everyone missed this. He referenced it 79 times in his lawsuit about Newstar.
Sure, well, my point is I've never seen in COG, I've never seen an InfraGard or COG them actually send out all these people. So the point is they have literally stood up an army domestically right now in infrastructure. So that means we're probably close to war with China.
I would assume it's bigger than that, Alex, not to overblow what you're saying. Imagine the 72 countries that were overthrown with the election fraud by Cuba, China, Russia for the past 20 years. Imagine how many countries are going to be involved in this. If they take the United States out in the fashion that they want to, and they're not going to be able to.
I agree. My point is when they scramble COG defense forces and stand them up, the price must be billions a week. That means they think something big's about to happen.
Yeah, I think a major announcement is about to come out, and it's going to be very destabilizing because they've got their minions all whipped up to go into the streets and think Trump's a dictator. But when he brings the hammer down, it's not going to come from him. He's the chief executive.
They're not telling the security people
from the generals.
Look for liberals or anti. They're saying Chinese and Muslims.
Oh yes, they're getting ready. I mean, they're going to come out.
Well, we know as many different in Minnesota last week, 2 million military-age men didn't take the free cash. Totally let in. They didn't even want to be signed up and let in. They wanted to be here secretly. 2 million.
Alex, you can look this up. 5 years ago, I remember I was tracking shipping containers full of AK-47 parts coming in from China in multiple locations. If you put them together, it was tens of thousands of AK-47s, and those were only the ones that they caught. They've been shipping arms in for many years, getting ready for this moment. But I believe we caught them. I honestly believe we caught them.
Well, I wasn't going to talk about this until you raised it. But yeah, I mean, the fact that for the first time in my life, because I've got feelers everywhere for 30 years, they've never activated the real COG stuff. So
Yeah, we're in continuity of government mode. Absolutely.
And you'll notice you drive
That's
by
why
a power switch plant in the middle of the country, you'll see a couple of trucks. You drive by a rail station, you'll see some trucks. You'll see an armored vehicle parked in the woods. You'll see a helicopter sitting over there. I mean, they're like locked and loaded, man.
Alex, I'm going to share one more thing before we go to the break. I think you're absolutely right. I think you can add this just as an additional dot. This is what I do know. On Saturday, when I got in touch with the highest levels of our government about something very, very important, right? That person and the other person were sitting directly next to POTUS. And when they realized what additional information I had, it happened like that immediately. They are on this thing. I'm telling you, the generals at the highest level.
Oh, you see when Trump gets a question from a journalist, he goes, "Is that true? It's true." They're fired. Boom.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. He says, "Well, we'll see what happens," and then they're out the door. I know.
Well, every American better be concerned that they're scrambling every former military person that has a security license, and then the special ones and former military. They're loaded. The government's like putting the weapons out. They're like, they got the guard bases up. They went shields up, like Star Trek. Shields went. Blah, 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 blah.
All right, so we will get back to that tomorrow because it's. We've been here for 3 hours and 15 minutes already, and we have to stop the stream at some point. I mean, there's a lot of information, but we're going to get into. I'm going to come back tomorrow night, and we're going to cover the financial markets. We're going to cover the war that we have. I mean, there's headlines from mainstream media everywhere right now about the how hot this is right now. So we'll get into it tomorrow. We'll also whatever I missed, I'll look at my notes to see what I missed with that, and we'll cover it. And any new breaking stories, we'll cover that as well. And we're going to start doing more shows during the week. I've been promising, and it's just been crazy. And I'm just going to start. I'm going to get to it. We're going to start. All I ask for you to do is go to the what's it called? The description in the show, and go to My Patriot Supply. Buy some restorable food. You're going to need it anyway. Buy a water filter. They're gravity fed water filters. They're relatively cheap. They work good. They get rid of all contaminants out of the water. You're going to need it if we get into this hot war. Get it in. They have these generators. They're super badass. The link is in that QR code. You can get to my channel there. And we will see you tomorrow night. Thank you very much for being here. Please subscribe to the channel. Share this with everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow. And then we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow, and we'll give you a schedule on what days we're going to be here during the week. This is heating up, man. This is not going away. I don't see after we attacked Iran, I think that was the boiling point. And I think that China is going to attack pretty soon. And listen, I'm just going to say this, and I've said it before. If you hear commotion and you're in a grocery store, just think about this. You're in a grocery store and you hear commotion, like, shots fired or something going on or some commotion in the front of the store. Do not go towards the front of the store. Find the exit in the back. They have panic doors where all you do is you hit the door and it opens up, and you get out of the store that way. Do not try and go out the front door. You'll end up dead. Okay? This is serious. The attacks are going to be on our soil in all the ways that you don't expect.
Soft
targets, churches, grocery stores, malls, movie theaters, all these different places. Because remember, the Persians and those, what am I saying? They're not Indians. What the fuck are they called? Why can't I think of what they're called? The Muslims, all those people. They have
Chinese.
They do different things. Some of them fight to the death. Some of them look for large crowds. Some of them, all these different things. And the Chinese, Same thing, right? They're ruthless. Their plan is to take us over from the inside. We've been saying this forever. God bless you all. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but you need to pay attention to your surroundings. You should be prepared. Be prepared for what's coming. Hopefully
watch your six. That's for sure.
I'm just a conspiracy theorist, and none of this is going to happen. But I'd be willing to bet that they wouldn't be talking about this like in this degree, talking about these things like this, if it wasn't true. So God bless you all.
God bless
We'll
you.
see you tomorrow. Thank you, John.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you.